We come to you tonight from the village of Foxborough in Massachusetts, midway between Boston and Providence, Rhode Island, and the focal point of an enormous amount of attention this week, primarily because of the return of this man. Bill Parcells, the erstwhile coach of the New England Patriots, comes back to Foxborough, Mass, as the head coach of the hated New York Jets. And my, what a difference a year makes. Last time on this field was the AFC Championship game.
Coach Bill Parcells and his New England Patriots, Super Bowl 31.
The Patriots are looking for the first Super Bowl championship in the franchise's history. It looks like the Patriots season will end on a sour note here in the Super Bowl.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
The New York Jets. What a way to open the season. Attaboy, there it is, go. You knew the Jets would show improvement this year. Pandemonium at Foxborough Stadium.
A brilliantly launched bomb from Drew Bledsoe.
Moments ago, the New England Patriots other than that, it's just a normal Sunday night game. The New York Jets and the New England Patriots from Foxborough. And good evening, everybody. I'm Verne Lundquist along with Pat, Haden, and Mark May. And welcome to Foxborough. This game is to hype as the QE2 is to ocean-growing vessels. And perhaps the reason for that, no doubt the reason for that, of course, the reappearance of Bill Parcells and his sometimes stormy relationship with quarterback Drew Bledsoe. People here very unhappy with the nature of his leaving. He did not come back from the Super Bowl with the team. And he also, of course, went to the dreaded New York Jets. People in the Boston area are not happy about that. And Pat, this relationship between Bledsoe and Parcells, so much the part of the discussion this week.
Well, you're right. Much of it's been made this week of that relationship between Drew Bledsoe and Bill Parcells. And indeed, it was strained at times. But Drew Bledsoe said to us this week, hey, this game is not about a personal vendetta about the man against the man or the game or his style of play. And he said, I was lucky to actually be coached by this guy, and he deserves a lot of credit for our Super Bowl run last year. However, nonetheless, Drew Bledsoe is one happy quarterback, and his numbers reflect that. He's off to a sensational start. 8 touchdowns to 8 different players. He has not thrown an interception. He's thrown for over 600 yards, only has 1 sack. If you're a fantasy football fan, he is the MVP of fantasy football after 2 weeks. And Mark May, you know, if you think about this #1 defense, Bill Parcells has a lot to do to try to slow down this offense.
He definitely does. And on defense, they're going to be missing their star and sack specialist, Hugh Douglas, tonight. But what they have to do to be successful is to get the New England Patriots in 3-down situations and off the football field. On offense, they're going to have to sustain drives and move the chains. And they're going to have to try to keep Drew Bledsoe and company on the sidelines. But they're looking for matchups to win. The main matchup that's crucial for the Jets is wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson on defensive quarterback Jimmy Hitchcock. Keyshawn Johnson has a 5-inch height advantage. And Verne, look for Neil O'Donnell to throw up a couple of jump balls to have success on offense.
All right, Mark, and now let's check in with the 4th member of our traveling quartet, Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, I talked to Bill Parcells moments ago, and he told me this is what it's all about. You can feel the tension. You can almost smell that this is serious business. It's a big game on the road in front of a loud and hostile crowd. Defensively, he wants to play with a certain recklessness, hoping to stop the Patriots on their opening series without a first down. Offensively, he wants to strike quickly. Nobody's giving the Jets much of a chance, and Verne, that's when Parcells is off when that is best.
All right, Craig, Bill Parcells at 56 years of age, and all but forgotten in the hullabaloo this week is that Pete Carroll, his predecessor, or his successor rather, at New England was the erstwhile coach of the New York Jets. 1994, as a matter of fact, The last time the Jets defeated the New England Patriots, Pete Carroll was their head coach. Patriots won the toss, have elected to return, and that means you get a look at rookie John Hall, who leads the league in touchbacks. He's kicked off 13 times in 2 games. 12 have reached the end zone. 9 have not been returned. Derek Cullors, number 29, and Chris Canty, number 26, are back. Cullors with 1 return, and there is Canty, rookie who wears number 26. Officiating crew headed by Larry Nemmers tonight. John Hall, Port Charlotte, Florida, played collegiately at Wisconsin. He has been a sensation, particularly when it comes to kickoffs, but no slouch on field goals. He's got 2 in excess of 50 this year. 75th meeting these 2 teams have gotten together. The first one, week 2 of the original American Football League season in 1960. Canty at the goal line. He's got some room. Chased by Hall. Hall is hit from behind. A flag is thrown, and this one is going to come back. Chris Carter, number 42, had an illegal block in the back, so that's going to wipe out a 70-yard return. Ray Mickens, number 24, finally caught up, but it was
illegal block in the
block.
back during the return. First down.
So instead of the 30-yard line, bring it back. Drew Bledsoe. 4 touchdown passes in the opener, 4 more last week.
Went to 8 different receivers, as we talked about, which makes this team incredibly difficult to defend.
And bring this one back to the 47-yard line. Chris Canty with the return. Coates goes left. Vincent Brisby wide to the left, and Sean Jefferson wide right. Terry Glenn is suited up, but we're not sure if he will see any action at all. Bledsoe lobs it out for Keith Byers. It's incomplete. And let's check the Patriot offense. Bledsoe has been sacked just once. He's got Curtis Martin and Keith Byers in the backfield. Jefferson and Glenn listed as a wide receiver, though he was not on the field for the opening play. Dave Wollabaugh returns at center after a 1-week absence. Bruce Armstrong, number 78, anchors that offensive line. 2nd and 10. Toss to Martin. Goes left. Armstrong helps provide the block, which gets him around the corner and down inside the 40. Jets defensively. And they will go with a 3-4 tonight because, as Mark mentioned, Hugh Douglas cannot play. Dixon will be the nose tackle. And the rookie James Ferrier, who also started last week, will be part of a 4 linebacker set. Pepper Johnson, the captain of this team, joined by Lewis and Jones. And the secondary has Glenn and Smith in the corners, Green and Coleman at the safeties. 3rd and 2. Byers in motion. Bledsoe pumps once, fires.
That's a good catch.
It is ruled a catch at the 32. Brisby.
Yeah, this Patriot team, New England Patriot team, has 5 receivers in the ball game right now, all of whom are very good weapons and threats down the field. The thing about this Patriot offense, a little bit different than a year ago. They're going to attack you down the field a lot more than they did a year ago and take advantage of what they think is Drew Bledsoe's greatest strength, throwing the long ball.
And one change in that offensive line, guys. Dave Wollabaugh is not there. We were told he would start. Mike Giesler is starting for the 2nd week in a row, number 67. On first down, Bledsoe with a lot of time. Deep left corner. Has a man open. Caught. Ben Coates. He becomes the first receiver for New England to catch his second touchdown pass of the year.
I think Ben Coates, Mark, is the most unique player in the National Football League. He's a fingerprint, a one of a kind. He is too big for safeties, too fast for linebackers. Good coverage there by Mo Lewis. But Ben Coates has got those incredibly strong hands, too.
You're absolutely right, Pat. He's an anomaly in the National Football League. Somebody that's 270 pounds, can block and shield off guys, and also run down the field and stretch defenses.
Bledsoe with his 9th touchdown pass of the season. And exactly the kind of start Bill Parcells did not want to see. And he set it up with his first kickoff return of the season. He actually returned at 70. A penalty nullified some of that. And then the quick strike from Bledsoe to Coates. Touchdown. Now Adam Vinatieri getting ready to kick off for the Patriots. And Aaron Glenn, who had a 96-yard return last week, is the deep back, accompanied by Leon Johnson. This is Glenn, number 31. He comes up and grabs it at the 6. Lovett Purnell, number 85, with the kickoff tackle. And here comes Neil O'Donnell. 5 touchdowns in the opener against Seattle. And in contrast, he was sacked 8 times last week in the loss at home to Buffalo and hit an additional 10 times. O'Donnell opens with 2 wide receivers to the right side, and his tight end O'Brady tight left, and backs are in the eye. Adrian Morrell finds a crack at left tackle across the 20 out near the 23-yard line. And let's check this New York Jet offense. O'Donnell with Murrell and Neal in the backfield. Keyshawn Johnson and Jeff Graham the wideouts, and Brady is the tight end. Up front, Jumbo Elliott, the veteran at left tackle. David Williams at right tackle. Duffy, Palele, and O'Dwyer. 2nd and 5. They cock the eye this time to the right side. Tight end is still left. This is Graham in motion. Morrell comes around the corner and is cut down by Jimmy Hitchcock, number 31. New England defense up front. It's Barrett, Collins, and McGinnis. McGinnis seeing his first action of the season at left end. Ted Johnson is a terrific linebacker in the middle, joined by Slade and Collins. And in the secondary, Hitchcock, Law. On the corners, Malloy and Clay are the safeties. 3rd and 1. And a double tight end set now with Baxter, the lone wideout. Strength of the formation to the left side. That's Baxter in motion. Morrell, short. Lawyer Malloy, number 36. And Willie McGinnis, number 55.
Beginning of this game, Mark, we've seen New England on special teams come up with a big play offensively, and then they're on 3rd down on defense.
And this is a head coach's nightmare, like Bill Parcells. He's coming into the Lions' den right here, and his team starts off shaky. That's what you can't have. You've got to get these guys rolling on offense, at least move the chains for 1 first down, but he does not want to see this thus far in this football game.
Brian Hansen will punt. Dave Meggett, who is the all-time punt returner both in number and yards, has it at the 21. Great block on Cascadden. Oh, my goodness. 52-yard punt, 19 on the return. Chris Hayes, number 30, makes the tackle, and Cascadden will not sleep well tonight. Sellout crowd on hand at Foxborough. 2nd possession now for the New England Patriots. They are up 7-0. Troy Brown and Sean Jefferson are the wideouts. Coates, the tight end, puts a block on the right side, and a quick opener. Curtis Martin, gain of 12, make it 13 officially. And let's take a look at the Foot Locker scoring drive. Chris Canty with the kickoff return, and they set up Ben Coates and a 32-yard reception.
Does that count as a drive when it's only 154?
It's a short drive. Just in case you're going to get a can of tuna.
Uh-huh. There you go. I knew you'd work it in, Verne.
Shoehorn. At the 49, first and 10. Martin forced back inside and picks up a couple.
But did you see the block by Ben Coates? You know, a moment ago he catches a 32-yard touchdown pass, and this shows you what kind of player he is. He is an all-around guy. We said he is unique. You know, he gives him an unfair advantage like a cork bat. I mean, the guy can block you on the corner. He can run deep routes. I mean, he's an intermediate receiver as well.
A cork bat.
Cork bat. It's unfair advantage. This is Red Sox country.
I thought you were talking about George Brett there for a moment. Second down and 9. 7-0 game. Bledsoe back. Gets a little pressure, and Byers, who is about to move into second place among all running backs who have caught passes, can't hold on to that one.
We're talking about unique players. Keith Byers is another one of those guys. He has done everything in his career, including throw the ball. He's thrown 6 touchdown passes in his career.
Now, Pat, he's the original Slash.
Yeah, you're
Before
right.
there was a Slash, it was Keith Byers.
Yeah.
He runs, he blocks, he throws, he catches.
Yeah.
He does it all. Plus, he's got a big foot on him. If you see this guy, he's a big man. He's about 6'3", 250 pounds.
And you would recognize big feet.
Yes,
I
you
recognize those big feet.
Footsie.
Got the size 16 workers here next to the size 9s. Third down, Bledsoe, deep right side, man wide open, Brisby. But it would have taken a really nice pass. He was going to have to loft it in, as Brisby had a couple of yards at the 27.
Well, Bill Parcells has to be breathing a sigh of relief right there. Again, this is a type of game that he cannot afford a shootout. And his defense, at least that time, forces the punt team on.
Tom Tupa getting ready to kick it deep, and Leon Johnson, number 32, waits for it at the 10-yard line.
Yep. Well, shuttlecock came down.
Yeah.
Yep. We know there's a penalty there.
Still like the shuttlecock.
Prior to the snap, false start, 99 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Vernon Crawford is the man who moved.
And this is an area that Pete Carroll wants to concentrate on. Last week against the Indianapolis Colts, they had 7 penalties in the second quarter alone. So he's concerned about this team and their penalties.
Now, one of the few things that has gone wrong thus far, they have been penalized 14 times. Last week, only 8 were accepted, but 12 were called. Sounds like a biblical invitation, doesn't it? And Tom Tupa has it tipped. That's the 234th punt of Tupa's career, and it is the first time Tupa has had one tipped or blocked. And Corwin Brown got there.
Yeah, you know, Bill Parcells has always had an outstanding special team player on his squad. He was with the Giants when he was here. He had Wiggum last year, and he's got Corwin Brown, number 44, for the Jets this year. He's coming right up the middle. It really was. He probably should have gotten a lot more of that ball. But Parcells always had at least one spectacular special teams player.
Corwin Brown, cut by the Patriots in August, signed immediately by Parcells. Here's O'Donnell, deep left side, Keyshawn Johnson. And he is out of bounds, only 1 foot in.
That's what I talked about in the open. They want that mismatch. Bill Parcells knows every player on this football team, particularly Jimmy Hitchcock. He told him once that he couldn't play in this league, and now he's taking an example to him right here. Here it is. Keyshawn Johnson does a little swim move. Now he's going to come back on the ball and just jump up and concentrate, and he's got the height advantage over Jimmy Hitchcock, so they're going to take advantage of this mismatch.
Hitchcock was benched in midseason last week by Parcells. Second down and 10 at the 43. Slips the ball. Adrian Murrell, he picks up a quick 7 yards inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, where Ted Johnson makes the tackle with help from Willie Clay.
You know, Adrian Murrell may be the first guy to play in the media capital of the world, run for 1,200 yards, and go unnoticed. He is, you know, the Where's Waldo of NFL running backs.
3rd and 4. Murrell gives way now to Leon Johnson. will cost us 5 yards here. O'Dwyer moved.
This is an area that it's tough for the offensive linemen. They have
Prior
to
to the snap, false start, 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
They have to look at the football and concentrate because it's so loud in the stadium. You're not going to hear Neil O'Donnell, the quarterback, with his cadence.
O'Donnell, third down passing, leads the NFL, and Pat will use that Rhodes Scholarship to explain the NFL quarterback rating.
I'll get to that in the second half. Yeah.
3rd and 9. O'Donnell across the middle. That's going to be good for the first down at the 32-yard line.
The one thing about Neil O'Donnell, he is a good match for Bill Parcells because he is physically tough and he is mentally tough. He does not turn the ball over a lot, and that's what Parcells wants.
Dedrick Ward with the catch.
And started with pretty good protection. Dedrick Ward, the rookie, had his first touchdown catch last week. Nice cutoff route. He didn't drift upfield, drilled right in the numbers.
Keyshawn Johnson goes wide to the left against Ty, or wide right rather, against Ty Law. That's Graham in motion. Play action. O'Donnell in the flat. Stopped by Baxter, the tight end, number 84. And then stopped by Lawyer Malloy, number 36. Well, this set up, of course, by the block. Corwin Brown on Tom Tupa. First time in his career that Tupa has had a punt block.
I'm talking to the special teams players from the Patriots. They're worried about a New York Jets fake.
Yeah.
Parcells always has that fake in, and he comes with something else. He blocks the punt right off the bat.
2nd and 4. Lorenzo Neal and Adrian Morrell in the backfield. Morrell, downfield block, and he has got a first and goal to New York at the 5. Lorenzo Neal, number 22, acquired for blocking purposes.
And
supplied one man.
And that's what he does well. All 240 pounds of him. You're going to see him on the outside of the play here. He gets a good block by Jumbo Elliott on Slade. And Adrian Morrell just kind of sneaks behind that, picks up the block of Lorenzo Neal. And again, a very good drive set up by a special teams play, just as the Patriots touchdown set up by a special teams play.
Adrian Morrell with a run of 21 yards, first and goal. Morrell this time goes left. Lonnie Palele and John Elliott with the blocks.
You know, Parcells was talking this summer about Adrian Morrell and said, hey, I'm not trying to make him out to be Jim Brown or anything, but they said this guy has everything. He has got power, he's got speed, he can catch, he's an adequate blocker, and he's very good in the open field.
And he's willing to learn. That's what Bill Parcells likes about him. He's coached him to look at the defensive coverages so he knows where to cut. He never knew that in his past.
Midway through quarter number 1. Play action, O'Donnell. His tight end can't get open. O'Donnell will run and get there. He looked a little bit like Pat Haden.
Yeah, no. He looks like he had boxer bunch up on that run.
It's a game of wedgies at time.
You know, it was open for a long, long time.
Holding.
Oh, we got a hold.
Defense, number 55. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell on the side of 8 sacks last week, and as you mentioned, Verne hit hard 10 other times. You know, this time it really wasn't pretty. As a matter of fact, it was downright ugly, but he got the ball into the end zone. The little pump fake there used to use in the playgrounds. Remember that one?
I'll tell you what, his offensive linemen and teammates will really give him a ribbon on Monday morning films, because when he was out there running, he looked like me. It was like January, February, March to get to the end zone, but he did a great job in tucking that ball under his arm and getting it into the end zone.
John Hall, the rookie from Wisconsin, knocks it home. This one set up by the first block of Tom Tupa's career. And the Tunis team has tied it up at 7.
O'Donnell on the touchdown run. Here he is. He's got an open boot. He's going to fake it to the running back, and he's got the entire half of the football field where Teddy Bruschi, number 54, is dropping back. He thinks it's passed. Neil's going to pump fake. There he goes into the end zone. It was a great decision by Neil O'Donnell, but watch Bill Parcells run it in. He should have taken that ball down 4 or 5 steps before and taken it to the zone.
Now John Hall with the kickoff. And this is his 10th touchback of the season. And to give you a little perspective, Joe Nedney, there's a flag being thrown, a little confrontation up near the 12. Brad Daloiso and Joe Nedney led the NFL in touchbacks a year ago with 20.
Yeah, a 16-game season.
This kid's halfway there.
Call him the weapon. Is that what Parcells calls him?
Yeah, among other things.
Yeah.
Here's Larry Nemmers.
After the ball was dead in the end zone, have a personal foul, 15-yard face mask on the kicking team. We'll add 15 yards to the 20-yard line to the 35, first down.
Mike Sweatman, a long-time special teams coach for Bill Parcells. Giants, Patriots, Jets.
Hey, when you're turning the team around, as Bill Parcells is trying to do with the Jets, the first thing you have to do is change the attitude. And one of those things is, hey, and the other thing is you can't afford to lose the game first with stupid penalties and mistakes. And as you watch this Jet team, those last 4 or 5 games, they may not be in a playoff hunt, but they'll make fewer and fewer mistakes and be in close ball games in the fourth quarter.
Sam Gash makes his first appearance at fullback now, number 33. Very popular member of this Patriot team. That's coach in motion. Blitz coming. It is a run blitz, and Martin goes left. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another. Awful tackling by the New York Jets.
Curtis Martin puts pressure on every member of the defense. He puts pressure on defensive linemen to get early penetration. You see coach's block number 87 on Mo Lewis. They've been working on Mo Lewis thus far. And then here's the run. He puts pressure on defensive linemen. He puts pressure on linebackers, as we saw there on Mo Lewis. And then at the end of the run, he puts a lot of pressure on defensive backs. All 11 guys have to defend Curtis Martin.
That's a gain of 33 and a first down at the 32. Martin heads left. Wonderful blocks on the left side from Armstrong and Coates again.
And Ben Coates is doing a magnificent job of opening up holes for Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin in the past had been a first and second down back. This year he's an every down back, but he's doing a great job on first down. They may not need him. Here's Big Ben Coates. He's got a little hold in there, but hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and he wasn't caught on that play.
Oh, man. Sound like Joe Bugle.
From whom he learned.
Yes.
And congratulations to the Raiders for their win today. Martin, 62 yards on 5 carries. And they know a good thing when they've got it going. Martin rushed the last 11 plays of the game last week in the victory at Indianapolis.
You know, Verne, I would think with Drew Bledsoe's arm and Curtis Martin's legs, this team has as much scoring range as anybody in the National Football League. You know, Denver has it with Elway and Terrell Davis, and Dallas has it, but this team has great scoring range.
3rd and less than a yard. That's Martin in motion. Keith Byers gets the handoff, and he bangs over right tackle Zephyrus Moss, number 77, and Todd Rucci, 71.
Keith Byers continues to help his team in a variety of ways. Good offensive line play. He catches, he blocks, and when you need a crucial first down run or third down run for the first down, they give it to Keith Byers again.
I can remember when Byers played at Philadelphia, Parcells coached at the Giants. He talked about Byers all the time, always admired him. And here's Byers now, who reciprocates and really admires Parcells. Bledsoe, inside the 10. Sean Jefferson, Aaron Glenn defensively.
And the defensive backs of the New York Jets in unison said they were terrified of Sean Jefferson because he has world-class speed. And when he makes a move, a hint, drops his weight, and runs a little out there, great concentration on that ball coming back on it by Sean Jefferson. Here it is, another look. He slips, but look at the concentration on that ball. Hugs it in, gets the first down for the New England Patriots.
9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. We did have showers move through this area about 5 o'clock this afternoon. They quit about 6. Bledsoe slips, and Martin goes down to the 5, and then a flag hits him on the hip. Jason Ferguson, number 72, with that tackle. And Larry Nemmers.
Face mask, 5 yards, 72 defense, half the distance to the goal. It'll be a first down.
Well, Curtis Martin over the last 2 years, this is his 3rd year in the league, has been awfully good inside the 20 as a runner. And I think it was Ferguson right there early in that run that got part piece of the face mask. But great scoring range, so he can go from a long way, and then Curtis Martin is awfully tough inside the 20.
First and goal in a 7-7 game. That's Coates in motion. Draw play. There's the first rushing touchdown of the season for the New England Patriots. And appropriately, it goes to Curtis Martin.
Here's Curtis Martin. Look at number 21, Victor Green. He led the NFL in tackles, but he's got to close into the hole and get around blocks. Put his elbow down and his shoulder right there and drive back. But Curtis Martin does an excellent job getting his body in position and bullying his way into the end zone.
And he got a couple of wonderful blocks. One from Sam Gash, 33. The other from Max Lane, number 68. And here is Adam Vinatieri with the extra point. A 33-yard Martin run sets up a 3-yard Martin touchdown. Pats lead by 7. Pat's favorite words, a plethora of signs tonight. Some of them a little catchier than others.
Yeah, I think we have should have an award for the best sign tonight.
How about them Buccaneers?
Boy, they lead at the NFC Central.
Miami loses a close one today in Green Bay, but Tampa goes into Minnesota, and they go 3-0 for the first time since '79. And we will be at Houlihan Stadium in Tampa next Sunday night for the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Adam Vinatieri getting set to kick off. 14-7 Patriots. Glenn at the 1. Somebody lost a hat.
I'm glad it was just a hat. And the Emmitt Smith rule not in effect when it gets knocked off your head. There will be no penalty. It's Bobby Hamilton. Special teams is an unnatural thing. Oh, man. Whew.
My goodness.
I'll tell you what, you've got to be a man to run 50 yards downfield, 100 miles an hour, lower your shoulder, and just take somebody out in that wedge, because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, makes you want to be an NFL owner rather than a special teams player.
Well, Teddy Bruschi earned one, as he was the guy who made the hit, number 54. Hamilton without the hat. First down and 10 at the 31. Left side, Morrell. And he gets out to the 34-yard line. Todd Collins, number 59, makes the tackle.
Well, 21 points scored already in this first quarter. Bill Parcells said to us yesterday, hey, you know, this is not going to be a conservative game plan by us. He said, I don't think we can beat the Patriots playing conservatively.
That's Romeo Crennel, another of the longtime assistants to Bill Parcells. 6 of them left here with Parcells and went to the Jets. Chad Eaton in defensively. Here's O'Donnell left side. Wayne Crabell gets by Willie Clay and picks up a first down out to the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 10.
Willie Clay with a tackle.
Overhead shots tonight, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, which is based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Richard Daniels from Burbank, California. First down 10 after the 10-yard gain. Ball at the 45. 14-7 Patriots. O'Donnell for Keyshawn Johnson. And he crosses the 50, nears the 43-yard line. Jimmy Hitchcock, number 31, made the tackle.
And that's a matchup that the Jets are going to look for the entire evening. Is Keyshawn Johnson on Jimmy Hitchcock. But in this situation, New England Patriots have been schooled. When the Jets cross the 50-yard line, they throw for the end zone. So be alert. All the defenders are going to be telling each other in the huddle they may go for the end zone in the next play or two.
Johnson comes left against Hitchcock. Slot receiver. Jeff Graham goes in motion. And they'll keep it on the ground There's a nice run by Murrell inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, cutback runners can sometimes embarrass you. And cutback runners, there's never just one hole. There's multiple holes. And Adrian Murrell is a very good cutback runner.
8 carries tonight for 50 yards, and we have reached the end of one in Foxborough. New England Patriots lead the New York Jets 14-7. Welcome back to Foxborough. We began the second quarter. The New England Patriots leading the Jets 14-7. Got a touchdown at the end of the opening kickoff of the ball game. New York responded. A touchdown run by Neil O'Donnell, and now the Patriots have gone back on top. From the 39, here's O'Donnell with a play fake, chased by McGinnis, and hit as he let it go. There is no flag. And there also is no fumble. Well, Chris Canty opened this game with a huge kickoff return, and then New York found themselves down 7-0. Very significant, I think, Pat, that they came back so quickly.
Yeah, again, they can't. This is a game they don't want to get an absolute shootout with New England. They're going to lose that kind of game. But I think their defense started to make a play, special teams with a block punt, and their offense came to life.
And Mark, they're running the ball well.
Both teams are running the ball very effectively, particularly the Jets. They've already surpassed the total of last week's 4 quarters in this quarter alone in rushing the football.
2nd and 10. O'Donnell right side to Graham at the 34-yard line. That's Ty Law, number 24. Got up there to make the tackle. Bill Parcells talking about Jeff Graham last night, said he is the consummate professional receiver. And O'Donnell was saying that each of his 3 primary receivers offers something different. Keyshawn Johnson, so big, Crevette just gets open, and Graham, a great route runner. 3rd down. Safety blitz is coming. Good pickup. O'Donnell running for his life and looked like it. Chris Slade, number 53. Well, we talked about the members of the Patriots who had more emotional involvement in this game than others. You have to talk about Bledsoe, Jimmy Hitchcock, and Chris Slade.
Well, he was benched by Bill Parcells last year, and he wasn't a happy camper out there. He's got something to prove tonight. He wants to show Bill Parcells that he's an every down linebacker, and Parcells just said, hey, he's a rusher.
Not atypical. Parcells is going for it on 4th and 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Timeout is called by the Patriots. This is a really typical Parcells move.
Yeah, as soon as he crosses the 50-yard line, it becomes 4-down territory for Bill Parcells.
So the Patriots realize they have the wrong personnel on the field, and they call timeout. 13:40 to go, first half. Not afraid to go for it. On 4th down last year in New England, 19 of 34. 1 of 2 in this season. 4th and 4 here. Draw play, Murrell, big hole. Cut back. Adrian Murrell at the 15-yard line.
You know, they're great calls when they work, those 4th and 4 draws, but I want to tell you that was set up perfectly and a huge hole for Adrian Murrell off the left side. Watch the running lane he's going to have. Picks up a block by Plale on the left side, the left guard.
Want to say that again?
Hello. I was hoping they were going to run right. And there's Parcells. Again, a very good call, always when they work.
Spoken like an Irishman. If they go right, it's O'Dwyer. They go left, it's Palele. Here's O'Donnell. And that's a drop.
That's why he blocks.
Lorenzo Neal, signed as a free agent from the Saints. Might not call that play again.
Yeah. Well, when you're 5'11", 240, I think you're destined to be a blocker. I mean, it's one of the interesting things about football to me, though. Guys come in all shapes and sizes. You know, you have tall, lean guys. You have Nate Newton types. You have blocking fullbacks.
Now, why were you looking at me when you said Nate Newton?
Well, he was
That's
looking
not
at
even
you,
fair.
Tall and lean. 10th play of the drive at 2nd and 10. Timeout, Jets. And the time comes with 13:01 remaining in the first half. There's a Jersey guy who's going to talk to a Jersey guy. They'll understand each other. Fine back split behind O'Donnell. Graham starts in motion. O'Donnell looks left, Finds Morrell. The block is missed, but Morrell on his own. Bill Parcells saying yesterday about him, you don't need to block too many people. There's Henry Thomas and Lonnie Pelele having a short chat.
Those two guys getting into it, becoming friends. They're going to send Christmas cards to each other. But here's the play. Going to drop back on the screen and set up, but Morrell does a great job in the open field of making the first guy miss. That's what Parcells loves about him. He can always make the first defender miss. 3rd and 4. O'Donnell goes left, gets a block, and throws it into the end zone, and good coverage from Slade on Keyshawn Johnson. I think O'Donnell had a clear path with Jumbo Elliott out there to get the first down. Well, it's not like he's world-class type speed, Verne. I think he learned his lesson off that first touchdown run. But the block that Adrian Morrell threw on that play was extraordinary. He flipped the defender head over heels.
That brings on the rookie John Hall. Morrell comes back to the bench. Hall for the season 5 of 6. He missed a 39-yarder. This is one of his free kick rituals. He lines up a spot just to the right of the center of the uprights in the end zone in those stands. And then kicks it just to the left of that spot.
That's why he aimed himself a little right. Got the nice chin strap working too, doesn't he?
He's become the pride of Port Charlotte. 14-10.
Reminder at the half, that is the Wrangler halftime report. We'll have no huddle highlights. And how about those Buccaneers? 3-0. It's the power of pewter.
Well, you know they're undefeated, so 1972 Dolphins are cringing right now.
Tony Dungy. We'll talk about it at the break. Back to Foxborough.
I agree with Keith. Tony Dungy.
He's done an incredible job down at Tampa. He may already be coach of the year. He's won.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's a little early.
He's won 7 out of his last 9 games. Last year he won 5 out of the last 7. Actually, he's won 8 out of the last 10.
Way to go.
Good man. My toes.
Out of way, Mark. Here's the return from the end zone by Derek Cullors. And he crosses the 20, gets out to the 23-yard line. And let's go back and take a look at the blocking effort of number 29.
Adrian Morrell is going to pick up the blitz on Ted Johnson, the linebacker. You're going to see it right in your screen right now. He's going to flip him head over heels, and he does many things for this offense. He's averaging 6.9 yards a carry. He's doing a tremendous job out there for the Jets. But you got to watch him. He catches out of the backfield. That's why Bill Parcells loves this running back, Adrian Morrell.
On 1st down and 10. Bledsoe, play action, rolls to his right. Good coverage on Jefferson downfield, and Bledsoe emulates Neil O'Donnell, and there is no flag.
That's a fair hit. He was in bounds.
James Ferrier, it's a Ferrier hit.
Yep. Quarterbacks are football players.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Pat Haden says that's a fair hit.
Well, he's in bounds. Yeah, it's a good hit.
Way to go, Patrick.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, he looks like he is also not terribly swift out there. Oh, Drew.
Noticed that too. Yeah.
He'll never catch Michael Johnson, that's for sure.
2nd down. Here's Martin with a couple of nifty moves behind the line of scrimmage, and James Ferrier, number 58, makes the tackle.
Yeah, nifty moves behind the line of scrimmage, then a burst, and then some power to break some tackles. Again, really one of the premier players. Between him and Adrian Morrell, some really unheralded runners, really, although Martin has made the Pro Bowl, but I think really unheralded. He has had some spectacular years, scored 32 touchdowns in his first 2 years. 3rd year in the league.
76 of those 121 last week came on the final drive after the issue was decided. Here's Byers in motion, play fake again. Bledsoe to Byers with his first catch of the night. Tackled by Otis Smith.
You know, Mark, just like we saw Adrian Morrell a moment ago make a nice block, Curtis Martin returns the favor on that one. Again, you're going to see Curtis Martin kind of up in the... Well, at first you're going to see Keith Byers in the flat, a dangerous guy who catches the ball in the flats. Ben Coates catches the ball over the middle. But you only are able to make those catches if you get blocks like that from your halfback.
1st down and 10. Play fake again. Bledsoe deep left side, almost picked off. Good double team coverage on Coates, Mo Lewis, and Jerome Henderson, number 26, who has played much of the first half in place of Marcus Coleman, number 42.
Yeah, Mo Lewis has had a very, very busy first half. I mean, even the one that Ben Coates caught for the touchdown, he had him pretty well covered. You know, Ben Coates is a little bit like Michael Irvin. Even when he's covered, he's open. You give him a chance. You throw it up and let him go get it.
2nd and 10. 14-10 ball game. Coates in motion. Draw play. Martin at the middle. And good defensive job by the Jets. Pepper Johnson, number 52, watched as the tackle was made. And number 55, Marvin Jones, who's moved to the outside to make way for Pepper Johnson this year.
Well, Pepper Johnson was picked up by Bill Parcells. It was his first off-season acquisition in free agency. And here's a guy he had to have. He wanted a leader on the defense. It's his 12th year in the NFL. He calls the plays for this defense, and he was voted team captain by his players at the beginning of the season.
10 tackles this season, 3rd and 8. Brisby is in. Troy Brown in motion. Bledsoe, good coverage. And it's incomplete. The coverage supplied by Victor Green, number 21.
You know, Mark, you and I were talking about how well Bill Parcells knows Drew Bledsoe and knows this Patriot team. And one of the things that he wanted to do was get after Drew Bledsoe with inside blitzes. And early in the ballgame, that time he had an inside blitz that forced Bledsoe to throw it a little bit earlier than he wanted.
Well, Pat, they got to do it with their linebackers and secondary because their big star on defense, Hugh Douglas, he's injured and he's out tonight.
Tom Tupa had his first punt blocked, first of his career, and he won't remember this one with great fondness either. Here's Leon Johnson with the counterattack out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Well, for Tupa, a forgettable first half. 1 blocked, 1 returned, 20 yards. Time has been called. 23 to go, first half of play. It has been a good one thus far. New England has a 4-point lead. Jets just held defensively. Now Neil O'Donnell brings them up. Roger Duffy over the ball, and you're well out of the backfield. And O'Donnell half roll to his right, pumps and lets it go. Caught by Keyshawn Johnson in front of Ty Law at the 42-yard line. Well, if you are a fan, even if you're not, you can see Superman every day on TNT, starring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher, the home of Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman, every Monday through Saturday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
And how did Princeton do this week?
Rat cheer.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the rule.
Yeah, you got to look. You do those promos, you got to look.
2nd and 5. Missed the agate. Morrell, what a nifty move. And another one. Oh, my goodness, Jimmy Hitchcock was waving as he went by.
And we said cutback runners can embarrass you at times. And it is just so hard to defend, actually, both these guys, because they can do it equally well. And the backside always has to stay at home. And if you're an offensive lineman, you stay on your guy because you're not sure where Adrian Morrell is going to end up. You get one of the best running backs you haven't heard much of in the National Football League.
And over 1,000 yards last year for a team that won 1 game.
Almost 1,300 yards.
Gain of 14 then, first down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Play fake, O'Donnell looks right for Keyshawn Johnson. Rolls out and goes by Willie Clay. Are you kidding me?
Look at that.
I take it back. I take it back. With a move like that, he goes down as one of my best quarterback runners of the season because the way that he ran the touchdown in for a score, I was surprised that he could make a move like this.
I mean, he reminds me of Steve Young.
I'll tell you what, he looks great. He rolls out, he gets excellent protection from his offensive line, but it's great coverage in the secondary, so he's got to make a move. He's got to make a decision. He tucks it down, runs with the football, 9 yards on the play. That's outstanding.
No boxer bunch up there. I mean, he had really going.
You think Willie Clay might catch some grief?
Yeah.
2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain. Trebet, number 80, in motion. They hand it off to Morrell, and he's got another first down at the 35. Adrian Morrell, he's only the 3rd back who has ever gained more than 1,000 for a team that won 1 game. It's happened twice before. Gale Sayers and Dick Bass. And for Dick Bass, you go back to the Rams of 1962.
Verne, you were still being carded back in 1962.
I'll tell you this, I'm the only one in the booth who remembers when Dick Bass ran for 1,000. McGinnis is out. Deep left side. And Keyshawn Johnson has it knocked away. Good coverage from Lawyer Malloy. And Jimmy Hitchcock also covering. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, Keyshawn Johnson, Bill Parcells was saying, is not a complete receiver yet. He's a work in progress, he said. Even though he's the #1 draft pick a year ago, I mean, those are the kind of plays they wanted to make, give him some jump balls that Mark was talking about earlier. And you see the way he worked his hands? It was kind of, you know, Bill Parcells has been working with Keyshawn Johnson on how to catch the ball on that left sideline. Doesn't like his hands stretched that way.
2nd down and 10. Hand off to Morrell. Quick opener, comes right. And he's down at the 27-yard line.
It's an interesting thing, Mark. Bill Parcells will work with every player on the team. Special teams players, kickers. And he talked to us a little bit about working with Johnson and, you know, using the sideline better. And again, as a split receiver on the left side, he wants him to use his hands a little bit differently as he catches the ball.
I'll tell you what, that's what's impressive about a great coach. He'll listen to ex-players. Some of his ex-players came in and said, hey, Keyshawn's not concentrating on catching the ball. He has to change his bad habits. Bill Parcells listens to those old players, implements that into Keyshawn Johnson, and now he's doing the right thing.
3rd and 1. Out of the backfield, Richie Anderson, number 20, makes the grab. And the Jets keep the drive alive.
You know, Bill Parcells hopes Richie Anderson can develop to be his Keith Byers, a guy who's been a very good receiver for the Jets over the years. 44 catches a year ago. And on those 3rd and, well, that was a 3rd and short, but anytime you get 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4 or 5, you get it back out of the backfield, he can be a tremendous weapon, as that guy is.
Byers, who started in Philadelphia, had an eventful couple of games for Jimmy Johnson in Miami before he was cut and then picked up immediately by Parcells last year. Into the left front. Hitchcock makes the grab, or makes the tackle rather, on Keyshawn Johnson. And obviously they are going to work on Jimmy Hitchcock tonight.
And I'll tell you what, Bill Parcells has said it 1,000 times. He's going to ride his horses until they fall down and they spit blood. And Keyshawn Johnson is going to keep getting the football until they stop him. He's got 3 catches for 19 yards, and I'd expect him to get a lot more before the evening's over. Until they can put pressure on him, Jimmy Hitchcock has to press him on the line of scrimmage. He's giving him too much cushion.
Johnson rests at 2nd and 4. A 4-point New England lead. O'Donnell throws that one away.
And that's a Parcells quarterback. I mean, you don't take the negative plays. And then you don't turn the ball over. You don't take the sacks. Again, he wants his quarterbacks to be mentally tough. You have to be physically tough to be a quarterback. And then you don't turn the ball over and make mistakes. Certainly Phil Simms was the best.
O'Donnell grew up in Madison, New Jersey, where the Giants trained when Parcells was their coach. These two men first met when Neil O'Donnell graduated from Maryland, was on his way to the combine camp. There's the quick pitch, left side to Graham, and Jimmy Hitchcock got a measure of revenge with that tackle.
Well, it's going to be 4th down, I believe. He's a little short, right?
Yep.
And Parcells once again contemplates going for it on 4th down. It was 4th and 4 when he went before.
And they ran the draw to Morrell left side as Chris Slade came way upfield on that play. Now 5:17 remaining, 4th and a little more than a smidgen.
Oh yeah, that's a lot more than a smidgen.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little confusion there by some feet. It's a good yard. There's 2 constants in sport.
Yes.
Don King's hair, and Bill Parcells is going for it on 4th down.
I knew that was coming.
Didn't sleep much last night, huh? 4th and a yard. Baxter splits way out to the left side. Brady is way right. The 2 tight ends on opposite sides of the field. O'Donnell tipped. Incomplete.
Now that's a situation where you have to question the tuna. When it's 4th and a foot and a half, give it to Adrian Morrell. He's been averaging over 7 yards a carry. Run the football, but that ball's tipped on the left side. Look at the defenders on the left side of the field. They're running a little crossing route over there. Neil down throws it, but it's tipped on the end of this line of scrimmage, and they have no chance for this first down. When it's that short in this situation, pound it in there.
And one of the small ironies in this first half, Chris Slade, who was victimized by Parcells on the previous 4th down play, is the man who tipped that way. Bledsoe across the middle, bobbled and dropped. Curtis Martin, who doesn't drop many.
You know, Verne, I thought it was interesting talking to a lot of the Patriot players this week, how they don't have any ill will themselves. There's a handful maybe, but most of the guys don't have any ill will toward Bill Parcells. I think that he helped them get to a Super Bowl a year ago. The hype for this game really came from a lot of the fans and the local media. But the players are, as I said, most of them very appreciative of what he brought to this franchise.
Now, Drew Bledsoe, of course, had that troubled relationship, but even Drew said, well, we had 2 good years and 2 not so good years. There's Bledsoe left side, intended for Jefferson and tipped. And Bledsoe apparently, you know, it's interesting because he grew up in Walla Walla, Washington. Not exactly the apotheosis of the West Coast lifestyle, but he refers to himself as a West Coast guy. And, of course, Pete Carroll is from Marin County. There is nothing more West Coast than that.
I'll tell you what, tonight, he should really enjoy this weather because this is Washington State weather. With the mist and the rain and the wet field, he should really thrive in this type of atmosphere.
3rd and 10. He'll have to call timeout with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Well, Bledsoe was the #1 draft pick made by Bill Parcells, or he made that choice. There's even been some dispute about that here in the Boston area. Now let's take a look at the GMC truck leaderboard. Brad Johnson in a loss, 334 yards. Barry Sanders in a win. And Jake Reed in a loss.
Jake Reed. Well, I tell you, those even though they're losing, those Minnesota wide receivers, I'll tell you, you talk about jump balls. Throw it up, they're going to go get it.
And what's surprising right now in this football game with all these wild fans here in New England, they need to get in this game. They need to support their team. You would think with the night game in New England and the past history of night games here that these fans would be going, there they are. They're going crazy. They need to get the wave going. They need to support their team. But right now, I think they're a little shaky here because they're surprised that this Jet football team didn't do the El Foldo after the first couple of scores that New England put on them.
The guy spent a lot of time thinking about that sign.
Bill who? That does not win the award for best sign tonight.
Took a break from his graduate studies at Harvard. 3rd and 10. Bledsoe, right side, tipped and blocked by Ben Coates. Good coverage, but it was,
that was
in his hands.
Yeah. Mo Lewis, I tell you, even though they squeezed the ball into Ben Coates a couple of times, but 57, Mo Lewis had him very well covered there. Not early in that route, though. Talk about recovery time of defensive backs. There was good recovery there by Mo Lewis.
Tom Tupa back to punt for the 3rd time tonight. Coates has to watch now as the Jets should come out of this with good field position. This is the best of the 3, but Johnson will return from the 44. Leon Johnson, rookie from North Carolina, 8 on the return after a 46-yard punt. And number 83, Dietrich Gels, the tackle. 14-10 is the score with 4:36 to go in the first quarter. It was Ben Coates from 32 yards out after a Chris Canty kickoff return. Then O'Donnell, looking not a lot like Steve Young, with the first Giant touchdown. And then John Hall with a field goal after the Patriots had gone back on top. Now Bledsoe looks as the New York Jets and Neil O'Donnell bring it up with a chance to go on top before halftime. First down and 10. Right side, Morrell. And he picks up maybe 1. Bledsoe, of course, we've talked a lot about his relationship with Bill Parcells over the last 4 years. Among other things he said of Pete Carroll, well, with Carroll, there's a lot of give and take. With Parcells, there was only take. We were chatting with Neil O'Donnell yesterday, who spent 6 years in Pittsburgh and is a Jersey kind of guy. And O'Donnell said, hey, I get along fine with Purcells. I played for Chuck Noll for 6 years. He's no basket of fruit. 2nd and 9. Left side, Johnson caught behind the line. It'll be 3rd and 10. Jimmy Hitchcock.
And I'll tell you what, on that play, you have to blame that on Neil O'Donnell. Whenever you're running a screen play, you never want to drift to the side that you're throwing the ball to the back. You want to go the opposite way or stay in the pocket. Watch Neil O'Donnell. He's going to drift to the side of the screen. He fakes it to the right and drifts to the side of the screen. Well, if you go that way, all the defenders are going to go that way.
O'Donnell 11 of 18 for 67 yards thus far. He's been sacked once. That's much better than last week when he went down 8 times at the hands of Buffalo. Of course, New England doesn't have that kind of pressure up front. Here's O'Donnell, and he lets go. This one incomplete at the 36-yard line. Ty Law with the coverage. Brian Hansen is on to punt. There's Dante Scarnecchia. Was an interim coach.
Yeah.
Dick McPherson's injury before Parcells came here, and he's one of 2 coaches who stayed on with the Patriots after Parcells left.
Hasn't he been here with 5 different head coaches?
I think he likes this area.
Yeah.
Meggett back, fair catch. At the 10-yard line. How you doing? Fine. How's the family? Doing well. Pete Carroll said he was absolutely shocked when he was released at the end of his first year with a 6-10 record with the Jets in 1994. This team had a 6-5 record. They were playing Miami at home. The infamous fake spike from Dan Marino. Miami went on to win that game by 4 points, and the Jets lost every game toward the end of the season, and Carroll was fired.
Well, he never got a fair chance, and there's another young coach out there that's doing very well with Denver, Mike Shanahan. He never got a fair chance with the Los Angeles Raiders that moved to Oakland after that. When you look at these young coaches, you have to give them an opportunity of at least more than a year or 2 to build a team. But Pete fell in a good situation here. He's with a team with a tremendous amount of
The 11th player
talent.
was running off the field. There is no foul.
The thing about Pete Carroll, he doesn't have to build the team here, and I think he may have the more difficult job than Bill Parcells because expectations are very high in New England.
Now, this is a little more than leftover tuna.
Yeah.
1st and 10.
Talking about staying up late.
Flags are down.
It looked like Drew Bledsoe even moved a little bit early there.
Pepper Johnson. Well, here's Larry Nemmers. He's going to let us know.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 80. That's a 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
That's Troy Brown, who's getting the start tonight because Terry Glenn, again, unable to go. This Wednesday night on TNT, don't miss Richard Gere, Deborah Winger, and Academy Award winner Louis Gossett Jr. in An Officer and a Gentleman. One of the few classics, one of the new classics on TNT. Oh, boy, will I hear about that. That's new, as in N-E-W. One of the new classics on TNT. It was a typo, guys. Dennis Martin at the 5-yard line. Let me reiterate, that's one of the new classics on TNT. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
How about Pepper Johnson? You know, Bill Parcells has always had favorite guys. And, you know, Phil Simms, of course, and Lawrence Taylor, and of course some guys for the Patriots last year. But Pepper Johnson is one of his guys. Brought him in he was with Detroit last year, kind of a dismal season for him and the Lions, of course. And as Mark mentioned, I think unusual, elected captain after being here just a couple of weeks.
2nd and 14, Coates in motion. Bledsoe with some pressure. He's only been sacked once this year. I beg your pardon. And Ernie Logan, number 93, was the first man through.
There's Larry Kennan, the offensive coordinator. And Bledsoe has now thrown 6 straight incompletions. And maybe some of that familiarity that Bill Parcells has with this Patriot team and Drew Bledsoe is showing here in the first half.
Time called at 2:19.
Yeah, no matter whether the Jets win this game or not, Bill Parcells has turned around, or actually has resurrected a moribund program with the Jets.
Coming up on the Wrangler halftime report, Vince, Keith, and Sean will be along with all the news, scores, and highlights from the days. Events. The Buccaneers now 3-0. Wrangler halftime report coming up only 2:19 from now. Well, Bill Parcells was recalling for us yesterday where this nickname came from. Back in 1980, he was one of the defensive coaches with the Patriots.
Yep.
Steve Nelson was here, Tim Fox, some of the guys. They kept trying to pull practical jokes on Parcells, and he finally said, "Who do you guys think I am, Charlie the Tuna?" And they instituted a Tuna Award. The thing caught on here in New England, carried over when he was in New York with the Giants, and then really exploded when he was back here with the Patriots a year ago. Thus, Tuna. 3rd and 14. Play action. Bledsoe. Oh, my goodness. Mo Lewis right there, as if he was in the huddle.
And you talk about Parcells not knowing these players and not knowing what they can do. He smelled that play out. He knew it from the sidelines to call the blitz. Bledsoe's going to probably drop the ball off on the screen, but his defensive players were there. When you look at this defense, it's not only Bill Parcells, it's Bill Belichick. He's got 4 starters on this defense, the defensive coordinator for the Jets and the 8-day coach of the New York Jets before Bill Parcells was hired, starting on this defense for the Jets tonight.
Here comes the pressure on Tufa. He gets it away. It was Rick Lyle who almost got there. And Leon Johnson at the 39. Skips down the sidelines and is knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
At some point in this season, number 32, Leon Johnson, is going to win a game for the Jets. I mean, because he is, like Keith Byers, a very, very versatile guy. You saw him there on the punt returns. He can throw the ball. He was a quarterback at University of North Carolina his first 2 years there. A good runner, a good receiver. And Parcells is saying, you know, every team in the NFL has to have a versatile guy like Leon Johnson.
Jets will get the break at the 2-minute warning, and they have 2 timeouts left before halftime. And O'Donnell comes back out, 11 of 19 here in the first half.
I tell you, this first half has gone just the way Bill Parcells and the Jets hoped. I mean, you know, they only down by 4 points. New England, there was some speculation they might blow them out.
Richie Anderson in the backfield now. Keyshawn Johnson is wide right. That's Anderson in motion to the left. Blitz coming. They got him. Came right up the middle. Mark Wheeler, his 2nd sack of the season.
His first sack against San Diego caused a fumble. Good
Eddie
inside.
Johnson also coming. Wheeler got him. We're at the 2-minute warning. New England leads it 5-4, but the Jets have been the dominant team here in the second quarter. And as Rick Lyle and his defensive teammates Bobby Hamilton, Ferguson, et al. Wait on the sidelines, Neil O'Donnell in the offense. Looking now to 2nd and 17 after the sack. Back sprint, blitz coming again. O'Donnell steps up, lets it go. Has a man, Corbett, nice run! And they're going to rule him out of bounds at the 30-yard line, short of the first down.
You know, 3 years ago, Wayne Corbett was a Cinderella story. You know, the free agent at Hofstra, he no longer is. Wayne Corbett is a legitimate NFL receiver and a doggone good one. And he does a lot of the Jets' dirty work. You see him actually dry his hands in the middle of that route. I don't think I've ever seen a receiver do that. He was going over the middle. He actually reached down for his towel to dry his hands before the ball got there.
3rd and 2. Clock stopped in the out-of-bounds play by Corbett. Backs in the arm. Double tight end center. Morrell goes left. Cuts it back upfield. And depending on the spot, he did or did not get the first down, which would bring up a 4th down as Pete Carroll prowls the sideline. Barry Cohen's number 92 was the man who made the tackle.
You know, 4-point ball game for Bill Parcells that we've already talked about how he likes to go for it in 4th down. But remember, he still has a very good weapon in his kicker in John Hall. First kick of his NFL career was 55 yards for a field goal.
Out, we look on as they bring the chain out.
Now, in this situation, Bill Parcells had the ball inside the 20-yard line and elected to go for it on 4th down and didn't get it. In this situation, if he would have kicked the field goal the first time and kicks the field goal now, he goes in at halftime with the lead. So some decisions in this game, you're going to have to question if he does not score on this drive.
Parcells will go for it. The Jets do have 2 timeouts left. So assuming they get the first down on the ground and don't get out of bounds, they have a chance to stop the clock by using a timeout. 4th and inches. 1 pass, 1 run thus far tonight. At the 28. Morrell, first down. And New York will use one of its 2. Well, they haven't yet. They do not use the timeout. The clock keeps running. And Parcells, quick with the substitution, sends 3 wide receivers in.
Yeah, time is not an issue here at this area of the field. I mean, a minute left, 2 timeouts, plenty of time. I think he can use as much of that clock as he wants.
59 seconds out of the shotgun. Blitz threatened. They're coming. O'Donnell, left side. Keyshawn Johnson dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did.
He should use the timeout here.
At the 18-yard line.
Now, he should have used the timeout there. With 2 left.
They've got 2 remaining.
Yep. You don't want to go into the locker room with 2 in your bag.
2nd and 5. Blitz again. O'Donnell, left side, behind Leon Johnson, but he makes the catch and does get out of bounds. That stops the clock with 28 seconds to go.
Here is the situation. Down by 4, I think you throw the ball into the end zone. You want as much room as you can. The closer you get down the field, it really constricts the areas you can throw it. And for Neil O'Donnell, I think you give that matchup, Keyshawn Johnson, Jimmy Hitchcock, that, Mark, you've talked about a few times, a chance. Let him try to out-jump him.
John Hall, if needed, going through some kind of pre-kick ritual that he didn't explain to us.
That's one I haven't seen before.
3rd and 8. 3-man, 4-man rush. O'Donnell deep left side, caught by Johnson out of bounds at the 10. Leon Johnson, the 4th-round pick, a Tar Heel out of North Carolina, 2nd grab in succession.
This guy is going to end up, I think, having a very productive career and a solid year this year. They're going to use him more and more on 3rd down situations. And he's a big guy. He's 215 pounds. He's not a little scat back as a 3rd down back.
Keyshawn Johnson goes left against Hitchcock, top of your screen. Crabette right against Ty Law. And the Patriots, Mark Wheeler was not on the field, and he was part of this defense.
Sloppy.
And this is one of the things that I can tell you right now would have never happened if Bill Parcells is on the other sideline.
Now, who called this timeout?
Well, there's a bunch of penalties going on now.
The Patriots don't have a timeout. There's Larry Nemmers.
Delay a game on the defensive team for calling a 4th timeout. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
I'll tell you what, that's a situation where Drew Bledsoe says Pete Carroll is giving this team more freedom. Maybe they need a little bit more discipline.
24 seconds remaining. And the ball now at the 6.
And still with 2 timeouts remaining. I mean, they have a chance to have 3 to 4 shots to the end zone.
1st and 5, they can get a 1st down. O'Donnell, well protected, gets rid of it. Fumble! Scramble! Who got it? Patriots ball. Richie Anderson had the pass and dropped it one hit, and Ty Law comes up with it.
The Arizona Cardinals today in overtime fumbled the ball, and the Washington Redskins came back to win on the next play. A situation here for Richie Anderson. His team is driving for certainly to take the lead. There was a Todd Collins, number 59, got his helmet on the ball. It pops loose. There's 3 jerseys there, blue jerseys. Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy.
First fumble lost this season by the New York Jets. And how untimely.
A good first half of football. New York Jets have kept what could have been an explosive New England team in check.
4-point margin at the end of the first 30 of play here at Foxborough Stadium. Our score at halftime: New England 14 and the New York Jets 10. Now let's join Vince Cellini, Keith Jackson, and Sean Jones for the Wrangler halftime report.
Welcome to the Wrangler halftime report. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Well, the Patriots have a 4-point advantage at the half and an absolutely edge-of-your-seat first 2 quarters of play. Drew Bledsoe's 9th touchdown pass of the season got it going for New England to Ben Coates. And we are set up here in Virtualville for the Wrangler halftime report. Vince Cellini here along with Keith Jackson and Sean Jones. And a reminder, we're working on bringing you Bill Parcells' post-game press conference from Foxborough to be seen during our Mercedes-Benz post-game show. But right now, no huddle highlights. Many games, short amount of time, and the theme tonight is comebacks. It's kind of a thread, the common thread throughout the highlights. One of the comebacks, Steve Young, back in action, inactive last week, but very strong this week in facing New Orleans in San Francisco's home opener. Young, Brent Jones in the end zone, one of 2 touchdown passes to the tight end. Saints turn the ball over 8 times in the game and lose big.
Kerry Collins is a comeback kid, and he comes back from a whop early in the season, but he throws to Wesley Walls, who scores a touchdown here. 2 touchdowns for Walls, 26-7, Carolina wins.
Well, Jeff George came back again to the newly named George Dome, but it was Napoleon Kaufman, as we see here, who steals the show. After shaking every single Atlanta Falcon on the team out of his jockstrap, you can call it, he ends up with 68 yards and pay dirt. He also ran for 2 touchdowns on the day. Raiders 36-31.
Or athletic support. Baltimore, New York Giants, and a Raven comeback taking place in the Meadowlands. Trailing 23-14, 7:16 left. Vinny Testaverde to Michael Jackson, and the lead is cut down to 2. And then Matt Stover, the Raven kicker, 37 yards away with 34 ticks on the clock. The comeback win, Ravens' first ever road victory.
Detroit at Chicago, and some people saying I knew Barry Sanders, but correction, I know Barry Sanders. And he runs for 161 yards on the day. And you know what? The Bears are in trouble. They're 0-3 so far. Lions win 32-7.
You forgot the comeback. Tony Dungy came back to his house he hasn't sold. But Warwick Dunn steals the show once again. The big man, Warwick Dunn, ran for 101 yards on the day with this 52-yard run for a touchdown. The Bucs 28-14.
And how about an overtime comeback? This in brand new Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Arizona Cardinals, Washington Redskins, overtime theatrics. Gus Frerotte to who? The KO Kid, Michael Westbrook. 1 of 2 for him. This was the game winner. Skins 19-13 in OT.
How about a team that tried to come back? Buffalo against Kansas City. Kansas City's home opener, Tamarick Vandover. You know, I'm impressed by this because the kid is 5'11", 218 pounds, and runs like that for a touchdown. And he can go, forget that. I don't want to say what that other guy say. Now, we're back to the Bills, who are trying to make a comeback. Todd Collins goes back to pass. He gets hit. He throws up a grab, and his day is over. No comeback. Mark McMillan spoils it.
Well, Warren Moon coming back to Seattle, but no, he's not in Seattle. He's in Indianapolis. Great game for him today on the comeback. Seattle Seahawks 31-3.
Rams in Denver and John Elway, well, vintage Elway. 4 touchdown throws, this one to Eddie McCaffrey. Broncos are 3-0 now, 35-14, winning big.
Coming back to Lambeau Field, as Keith and I are doing, Brett Favre threw for his 150th touchdown to Antonio Freeman, second fastest in history.
And he finds big stiffy William Henderson in the flats for a touchdown. Guess who wins? 23-18, Lambeau Field.
Oh,
Lambeau
nice.
leap 2, up, and no vertical.
Nice nickname. You know, we'll be back with more on the Wrangler halftime report.
Half, 14-10. New England leads it. The Jets trailing by 4. Time of possession thus far, 18-14 to 11-46 for the Jets. One turnover. That was Richie Anderson's fumble as New York was going in for the go-ahead touchdown. And total yards in favor of the New York Jets. And Mark, you surprised that they didn't use Keyshawn Johnson down the stretch?
Well, I'm surprised, particularly at the end of this first quarter, to go to him and give him a jump ball situation in the end zone. But he does have 4 receptions, and they've gone his way at least 7 times.
Well, as we get set for the start of the second half, either smoke or fog is beginning to move in. I'm not sure which it is. Last time I thought it was smoke, turned out to be the Fog Bowl in Chicago, 1988. Here's Aaron Glenn disappearing in something. And the hit made near the 25-yard line. And Pat, Drew Bledsoe with that touchdown catch to start the ball game, but he slowed down considerably since.
Yeah, he's 4 of 14 in the first half, only 54 yards, and you know he's had a couple of balls drop, but it has been a frustrating first half for him. But it started out, as you said, on that wonderful note, a 32-yard throw to Ben Coates for the touchdown, and then an overthrow to Brisby, and a drop pass there by Jefferson. And 4 of 14 in the first half.
Up the middle. Adrian Morrell with the carry.
Yeah, this Jet team, you know, you mentioned the time of possession. And ordinarily, you know, that's not a thing you really worry much about it unless it's a Parcells characteristic, you know. Possess the ball, convert those 3rd downs, sometimes 4th downs.
2nd down and 8. Keyshawn Johnson tries to do a tap dance on the sideline. And it is ruled incomplete.
Remember, Parcells again talked to us yesterday about how he works with Keyshawn Johnson, working the sidelines and working his feet. So he wants him to catch the ball with his hands a little bit more rather than his body. If you catch the ball with your hands, he said you can catch it earlier and maybe get that 2nd foot down.
3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun, Roger Duffy over the ball. Blitz again. They're sending 5. O'Donnell steps up and will run. And look at this nifty-footed runner. And he gets out of bounds in front of Willie Clay as the chain goes down.
Hugh McElhaney. He looked good, didn't he? He's had a couple of nice runs. Again, a perfect match, I think, for Bill Parcells. I mean, Mark, I don't know how you feel. I bet you maybe 30% of the quarterbacks in the National Football League are too fragile to play for that guy.
Oh, at least 30%, Pat. And this is a deal on Neil O'Donnell. He wanted to come back home to play. He said nothing would be better than 1 to win at New York, 2 to win at home, and 3 to win for the Jets.
1st and 10 after the O'Donnell run. Quick setup. Down the sideline, Keyshawn Johnson over Jimmy Hitchcock, and Hitchcock gets back and does a fine job defensively.
You know, Mark, Hitchcock really has answered the call. I mean, been equal to the task. They've worked on him, they've worked on him, but he has not been beaten badly.
I'll tell you what, Pat, on this play, this ball's underthrown. They've got to start using the height advantage right there. He pushes off at the end. Throw the ball up high enough where Keyshawn can go vertically and go get that football because they're not taking advantage of Hitchcock.
He's got to catch that ball. And that ball is more than catchable. I mean, he has bobbled several and dropped several.
2nd and 10. For the 2nd time tonight.
The opening series, very half, Verne, you and I have talked about before, really set the tone for the rest of this half. And so far, it's been a very good defensive series for these Patriots. Wheeler on the inside. Willie McGinnis coming out also, but the inside pressure, the quick inside pressure by Mark Wheeler twice has gotten to Neil O'Donnell.
And Mark Wheeler has 2 sacks in the last 2 years. This year, he has 3 sacks.
3rd sack tonight, and it's 3rd and 18. Four-man rush this time. O'Donnell steps up, and one opposite left side, intended for Wayne Corbett. Hitchcock moves up to cover him. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, that was a defensive statement series. I mean, they really got after the Jets and got after Neil O'Donnell on that one.
Pete Carroll urging his team on. Likes what he's seen here in the third quarter, and Brian Hansen getting ready to punt for the third time tonight. Dave Meggett waits at the 24-yard line. Meggett hit high and low and brought down at the 35. A 13-yard punt return. Chris Hayes, number 30, is there on the tackle. Patriots have the ball in a 4-point lead.
This, my friend, is a treasure map.
They thought they hit it big.
New England held. They've got the ball on offense for the first time third quarter, and they have a 4-point lead, though Drew Bledsoe has missed his last 7 passes. Draw play, left side, Martin wrapped up behind the line. He does get back to the line of scrimmage, but Ernie Logan, number 93, another of those free agent acquisitions. Logan from Jacksonville. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, we may think this is a good game, but neither coach was happy at halftime. Bill Parcells told me he didn't care what people thought about how his team played. They're down by 4. He doesn't care who thinks they're doing a good job. They're 4 points short. As for Pete Carroll, he said outside the opening drive, nothing good to talk about. Verne?
All right, 2nd and 10 right now on a 4-point Patriot lead. Backs in the eye. That's Coates in motion. He has a 32-yard catch for a touchdown. Bledsoe left side, intercepted. Picked off by Mo Lewis, and he's got a line to the end zone. Lewis in for the score. Bledsoe intercepted for the first time this season.
We talked about Mo Lewis in the first half, how well he has played. Even when Ben Coates caught the touchdown over him, he had Coates well covered. And now Drew Bledsoe, 8 incompletions in a row. I guess you count that as a completion, but to the wrong side. I tell you, he has played very well, particularly in the passing game. I'm talking about Mo Lewis.
That's his first interception in 2 years, but he's not unfamiliar with the tactic. He picked off 6 in 1994. When his head coach was a guy he just victimized, Pete Carroll. Bledsoe throws it to Mo Lewis. He takes an unhindered path to the end zone. Jets lead by 3. Sellout crowd sitting in stunned silence right now as the Jets have gone on top for the first time tonight. The kickoff from Hall goes left. This is Chris Canty, who opened the game with a 70-yard kickoff return. This one only out to the 25, and the tackle made by number 32, Leon Johnson. Let's go back and take a look at the Mo Lewis pick.
Yeah, and take a look at Drew Bledsoe. He is trying to look, I think, a defender off as he looks to his right, to his right, to his right. Then he wheels to the left, delivers the ball, and never even sees Mo Lewis. Disciplined zone coverage there, and a very good catch, and then the run after the catch by Mo Lewis. So it started with the look off by Bledsoe. It ends with Mo Lewis in the end zone.
First down and 10 at the 25 now. Bledsoe will hand it off.
The best thing when your team is really struggling, Verne, is to get that running game going. And this is one of the things that the Patriots have that few teams have, is they can be dynamic in the passing game and in the running game. But they're struggling throwing the ball right now. It's time for the offensive lineman and Curtis Martin to take over.
Lewis with his 4th career interception return for a touchdown. At the 29, it's 2nd down and 6. And Martin comes left out near the 33-yard line. Curtis Martin, who played collegiately at
Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
But Drew Bledsoe, here's a situation where Coach Pete Carroll wants to get him settled down. He hasn't had bread and butter games against the New York Jets. Throughout his career, he's got 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He only has 54 yards passing tonight. He's only averaged just over 200 yards a game against the Jets. So versus the AFC East, the Jets are probably his biggest problem too.
3rd and 2. Jets up by 3. Bledsoe with time. Finds Byers for the first down at the 37-yard line.
Oh, reliable, Keith Byers. You know, that was like Linus's blanket. When you're really struggling, you look for that guy that you can really depend upon, and it's Keith Byers right here on the wing. Almost like a second tight end. Lets Coates clear out the area. Coates takes all the linebackers with him. Keith Byers sneaks underneath him. Yeah, and then another good thing that that Ben Coates does is really, you saw him just clear out the area for the other receiver, Keith Byers.
That is the first completion since the first quarter for Bledsoe. And he liked it so much he's going to try it again. Chased and throws it away right side. Rick Lyle, who has a sack tonight, or almost a safety rather, was right there. Now Keith Byers with his second catch tonight for 10 yards.
Well, he has done everything. You see NFL history, ranked number 2nd. DeMarcus Allen. He has caught balls. He has thrown passes. He's thrown blocks. He's made special teams tackles. Thrown touchdowns and has hit 6 of them.
Runner-up to the Heisman Trophy. 1984. I think the guy's name was Flutie.
Yeah, he was pretty popular in this part of the world.
Boston College.
Yeah, and the Boo Birds come out for the Patriots.
Bledsoe calls time and heads over to chat with Pete Carroll. Time is called. Jets lead by 3. .9:59 remaining third quarter in this one, and Bledsoe had to call the timeout. Pete Carroll has talked it over with him. Bledsoe back in a huddle, and it's second down and 10. From the 37-yard line. Troy Brown comes left side against Otis Smith. And Bledsoe cocks and fires. He's got Jefferson across the 50.
And that's what the Patriots need to do. 20-yard gain there to Sean Jefferson. Top of the screen here. Started with very good protection. The ball drilled right on the numbers. An easy ball to catch to Sean Jefferson. Now if you sprinkle in a little Curtis Martin, dump the ball off to Keith Byers, you got the semblance of a pretty good offense.
First down and 10. Coates in motion. Martin comes left and gets it to the 40-yard line.
There comes a point in time in every NFL football game where you've got to be able to run the ball, particularly when your quarterback is struggling. And New England is in that situation right now, and Pete Carroll needs to get that running game going. Had it going well the first quarter.
And not only that, Pat, they've got to run on first down effectively and get at least 5 yards so they can have more options on second down.
Martin with 89 yards on 15 carries. A third of that came on one run. He gets the toss, comes left, cuts upfield, and moves it very close to the first down. He'll be just a foot or two short as Mo Lewis makes the tackle, number 57.
Yeah, another 57 there, another play by Mo Lewis. But you watch Curtis Martin cut back and give you the power runs at times. You know, he can be an elusive runner, but he's not a timid guy. You know, a lot of times the elusive guys try to bounce outside and make all the long runs. He's elusive and powerful.
95 yards and a touchdown. 3rd and 1. Byers works his way for the first down. Bobby Hamilton, 92, made contact.
Second time on 3rd and 1 they've gone to Keith Byers as a runner. We've seen him as a receiver on this drive. And Mo Lewis against Ben Coates has been a terrific matchup this evening. Both have had their moments. Again, that's a pretty good play by Mo Lewis.
Outstanding play by Mo Lewis. Did you see how he just jacked up Ben Coates? Bill Parcells told us that he's going to make sure that Ben Coates has a difficult time getting off the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 Patriots. Quick count. Quick setup. Bledsoe with that rifle finds a man at the 15. It's Jefferson again.
And I'll tell you what, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that pass and catch because he had mustard on that throw and that ball hit Sean Jefferson right in the breadbasket. Here's Sean Jefferson right here. He's going to make a hit inside and the ball, wham, right there, right between the numbers.
See Aaron Glenn point
You got him.
Yeah.
He's yours.
Wasn't my guy.
1st and 10 at the 15. Jets up by 3. Bledsoe drills another one to the 6-yard line.
I tell you, I love the play calling by Larry Kennan, the offensive coordinator. I mean, he's got something going now, and when you have it going, you wear it out until they stop it. 3 times in this drive has he thrown to his right against the Jets' best corner, Aaron Glenn. And 3 times it's gone to Sean Jefferson.
Jefferson 4 catches for the night. It's 2nd down and 1. That's Coates again. Here's Martin again. Darts right. Bobby handles it, but he get by, and he may have gotten the 1st and goal.
How does he even gain 2 or 3 yards in that play? That should have been a loss. I mean, a slashing run that time.
And not only that, Pat, when he made his move to the outside, he dropped back 3 yards to go around the defender and still circled him. He had enough quickness to get around. Here he is right here. He goes backwards to go forward. Great move by Curtis Martin. I mean, you can't expect anything more from a back like that to get you the 1st down in tough yardage territory.
11th play of the drive. 1st and goal. Jefferson this time comes left. Jets a little slow to adjust. Now they've got him covered. Martin gets behind the line and dropped for a loss of 5.
James Ferrier, the rookie out of Virginia, the 1st-round pick for the New York Jets, just got penetration and no one touched him. You've got to be accountable, particularly down here in the red area, for guys blitzing and coming off the edge, and no one was accountable for James Ferrier.
Well, you know, in that 34 defense, remember Lawrence Taylor? He had a guy coming off the edge pretty good, Bill Parcells, over the years.
Yeah, I still have a couple of knots on my head from those days, Pat, with the Washington Redskins and New York Giants.
2nd down and goal from the 9. Into the end zone for Coates and incomplete, and the flag is down at the goal line.
Ben Coates, the walking mismatch, particularly when he gets lined up. Oh, there we go. Yep. Is he going to throw that on Bledsoe, I think?
I think it's going against Victor Green. It's a big mistake. They're at home. You never do that to the quarterback because you're going to protect him.
You know, when Bledsoe pushed him, he threw the flag, although he is cheering the moment.
2 flags down, 1 at the goal line.
This is a game when it's tight like this. You can't have stupid penalties that cost your football team because the score is tight and they can't afford it at this particular time of the game. You can't afford it any time in a football game.
Now, we got a couple here, and Larry Nemmers is going to straighten this out. Offensive interference, unsportsmanlike, both penalties against the Patriots.
Yeah, I thought they would have called that on Drew Bledsoe.
But the first penalty was against Ben Coates for pushing off in the red area down in the goal line.
Yeah, but again, I think the second one clearly was against Drew Bledsoe.
And I'm very surprised about that, Pat.
Now, he tackled him at 5 yards down the field. Wasn't Coates past the 5-yard area?
Here's Bledsoe right here. He gets a shot first from Victor Green right there in his face. Green's going to give him a little push. There it goes right there in the face. He hits him, and that surprises me. You know, that should have been a defensive penalty, but Bledsoe retaliates, and you always get the second guy.
You and I didn't see the same thing, man.
Yeah,
I saw Bledsoe with the push down low.
Yeah, I think, again, if you're going to make quarterbacks football players, you call the penalties against them as well. But I actually, when I look at Victor Green on that play, didn't it look like Ben Coates was past 5 yards when Victor Green kind of locked up with him?
Pete Carroll thinks so.
He had a bear hug around him at the goal line.
It was funny. Drew Bledsoe just yesterday was talking to us about Victor Green and said how much admiration he had for him and how hard he played last year on a 1-15 team.
Offensive pass interference on number 80 of the offensive team is declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 11 of the offensive team will be accepted. 15 yards, previous spot, still 2nd down.
This is one of those situations that we talked about before. The Bill Parcells discipline. This would never happen if Bill Parcells was on the sidelines of the New England Patriots.
Take a look at the first one. Well, that's Troy Brown. That's the man against whom they called this.
No. I think they got the numbers mixed up. I think they got the numbers mixed up. To be perfectly honest, I never saw Ben Coates in the penalty.
Watch this one now. See if Bledsoe doesn't make first contact.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, that's the right call. That's the right call. He's a football player.
Martin, not for sure. Martin on the draw. So it appeared, would you not agree, that it was Coates in the end zone with the offensive interference?
Yes. I don't even think that was offensive interference. I thought it was a defensive penalty on Victor Green, and I think that's why Drew Bledsoe was upset.
But I'll tell you what, that's immature. That's a player that's not mature, not controlling his emotions, that could cost his football team this football game.
After all of that, we've now got a 3rd and goal at the 15.
I'll tell you, when it's 3rd down, you make sure you jam Ben Coates at the line of scrimmage.
Jets with a 3-point lead. 4:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Bledsoe in the end zone, incomplete. Glenn with good coverage this time on Sean Jefferson.
And as I said about immaturity, it went from 1st and goal on the 5. Now they're attempting a field goal. And I don't care who you are in this football team. If you're Drew Bledsoe making $42 million for his contract, or you're a backup player, you don't cost your football team a scoring opportunity.
Chance for the tie now. Adam Vinatieri, 32 yards. He has hit 11 in a row. The club record held by Tony Franklin of 14 in a row. And this ties Adam Vinatieri with Matt Barr. And in one of those small ironies, after he was released by the Patriots, Matt Barr went and helped Bill Parcells with the Jets this summer. I think this helmet was worn by Gino Cappelletti back in 1960.
I hope he had a smaller head.
That guy has no sense of fashion.
It does not fit.
We're tied. Here's Vinatieri with the kickoff. At the goal line, Glenn. And he's out across the 25. Tackle is made by Lovett Purnell, number 85. We're going to take a break. We're tied at 17. Here's one of those rare games that's lived up to the hype. 3rd quarter, tied at 17. New York Jets, New England Patriots. Jets come in 1-1. New England undefeated. They rolled over their first 2 opponents. Though in truth, they had a tough tussle last week in Indianapolis. 14-6 second half. They went on to win it 31-6. And the Jets, of course, with that explosive victory in Seattle to open the season, they had a chance to win their 2nd at home last week against Buffalo. They actually led by 1, and they fell by 6, but had the ball at the 24 inside 2 minutes. O'Donnell was sacked twice on that last possession. Here, O'Donnell sets up, goes right side. Nice adjustment on the ball by Jeff Graham to make the catch in front of Ty Law.
Well, and a flag goes down and a face mask. You know, O'Donnell tried Keyshawn Johnson against Jimmy Hitchcock several times. It did not work. He comes back to the old security blanket, Jeff Graham, who makes a terrific adjustment for the catch.
We have a completed pass on the sideline. Personal foul. 15-yard face mask. On number 24 on the tackle. 15 yards, first down.
And that was a perfectly thrown jump ball attempt by quarterback Neil O'Donnell. That's what he's got to do with Keyshawn Johnson, but right there he's got a hold of his face mask all the way down to the ground.
You know, they have the 5- and 15-yard variety. I'm not sure that was the 15 variety, but it was assessed.
Could turn into a grievous mistake.
Or just a real bad one.
Yeah. First down at the 35. Morrell out of the backfield. O'Donnell pumps, looks left all the way. Now settles for Richie Anderson. Anderson, who fumbled at the 1-yard line just before halftime. Todd Collins, number 59, makes the tackle.
You know, 17-17 ball game, but I think we all agree the Patriots have better players. They're the superior team in this ball game. But if you, as a coach, can get the most out of your players, particularly your star players, and then get your average players, your marginal players, to play hard every play, you have a chance to win. And that's what the Jets are doing.
2nd and 5. Blitz. Kenny Johnson.
Boy, Mark, did he come cleanly.
That was a problem, Pat, that the offensive line had last week against the Buffalo Bills. Not only the 8 sacks, but the 10 knockdowns on the quarterback. And you have to be aware of where everyone is on the defense. Here's just a straight blitz up the middle. The linemen and the backs have to be aware that that's not Neil O'Donnell's man.
Teddy Johnson out of Colorado had a huge game in the Super Bowl. Despite the loss, Bill Parcells said yesterday he is a great player. The country just doesn't know about it yet. 3rd and 14. O'Donnell, fumble, Slade knocked it out of his hand. And who got it? The Patriots got it. How ironic, it's Chris Slade.
The one of the handful of guys who did say he had a problem with the way Bill Parcells left this franchise after the Super Bowl. The tomahawk chop that Lawrence Taylor made so popular. From the blind side, not satisfied with the sack. His teammate Willie McGinnis makes the recovery. Number 55, pretty good bookends.
And that's just poor technique by left tackle Jumbo Elliott. He should know better than that, to keep his head up, keep his hands up, and when your quarterback's already been sacked once, protect him the next time.
That is the 5th sack tonight, the 2nd fumble recovery by the Patriots. This is Byers in motion, and Bledsoe to throw. He wanted a lot, has to settle for a little. But Brisby makes the catch at the 45. Brisby, who missed all but 3 games last year, and he got on the bad side of Parcells because of a pulled hamstring.
And the comment that Bill Parcells had about Mr. Brisby was that he came back quicker off of his heart attack than Vincent Brisby did off of a hamstring injury.
He was in the doghouse. He eaten Alpo most of the year.
Parcells has a rather large doghouse.
In the middle, Pepper Johnson, who started his career with Parcells and the Giants, released rather unceremoniously by Dan Reeves. Caught on with Cleveland and Bill Belichick for a couple of years, then with Detroit, and now is the captain with his old team. Pepper Johnson telling us last night his rookie season against San Diego, kickoff. He got a block. Parcells thought he missed one. He chewed on him something unmercifully. Pepper Johnson said he couldn't sleep that night. Here's the stretch of the chain just short. And the next morning at Giant Stadium, Johnson walked in almost late for a meeting, and Parcells was waiting for him. He walked over and said, "Son, I looked at the tape. You got the block. I was wrong. I apologize." And Pepper Johnson said, "I became a Parcells fan that morning."
Deservedly so. I wish there were more coaches like that in the NFL. But hey, Pepper Johnson and Keith Byers, they're co-captains at Ohio State together. So this is not only a grudge match between the Jets and New England, it's college guys going at it in this football game. But Pepper Johnson, when he came in, Parcells asked him, "How long you want to play, son?" He said, 4 years. He said, "No, you're going to play 10 or 12, and this is his 12th year."
Tom Tuchel was on that team. Some pass receiver up in Minnesota was on that team, right?
Drew Bledsoe on the sneak and got it.
First down at the 42.
Yeah, one thing about Drew Bledsoe, he has not played particularly well tonight, but I think his calmness is something that goes around well in a huddle. The guy never seems to panic. Pete Carroll was saying sometimes that calmness is, you know, mistaken for aloofness, but it's not. He's a very, very competitive guy.
Final minute, 3rd quarter tie game. 1st and 10, Patriots at the 41. This after the fumble by O'Donnell. Blitz coming, Pepper Johnson. Bledsoe goes deep left side. Aaron Glenn was closest to it. Sean Jefferson, the intended receiver. It'll be an incomplete pass. Well, last week we went into overtime in the desert. We're tied at 17 here in the 3rd quarter. Next week, the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Jimmy Johnson, Dan Marino, and the Miami Dolphins. 7 o'clock Pro Football tonight. We kick at 8.
Well, it's got to feel pretty good for the fans down at Tampa, doesn't it?
They might sell out, huh?
Yeah.
2nd and 10. Draw play, left side. Martin rumbles to the 31. Marvin Jones makes the tackle, a gain of 11 for Curtis Martin. So sure-handed. In his career, only 9 fumbles.
Yeah. And this is an elite team, offensive team, because they can run the ball so well and beat you running, as well as dynamic in the passing game.
1st and 10. Brisby to the right. Lovett Purnell replaces Ben Coates at tight end. That's Purnell in motion. Blitz coming. Martin darts to the outside, chased by Glenn. And down at the 25-yard line. We have reached the end of 3 at Foxborough Stadium. And we've got one brewing here, 17-17, as we get set for the 4th. Bad news for New England. Ben Coates, their all-pro tight end. Obvious agony as he holds his left side. Lovett Purnell has taken his place, but not on this play. It's a 3-wide receiver set now on 2nd down and 5. Tie game. Martin darts back to the right. Poor tackling by the Jets again. And he's got a 1st down at the 14-yard line with a gain of 11.
I'm not so sure that's poor tackling as it is good run on Curtis Martin's part. I mean, he is elusive and powerful.
Absolutely, Pat. It's his cutback ability and his vision and his ability to see the hole. Watch his feet. Look how quick his feet are. If you can see his feet, look how quick his feet go. It's amazing. Look how quick his feet are. That's just amazing by a running back, that he can cut and plant and move and change direction.
Yeah, particularly in the 4th quarter when you really need your running back. That's Ben Coates.
And that's not good news for the Patriots. 1st down and 10, tie game at the 15. Bledsoe knows a good thing. He'll hand it off to Martin again. And Martin to the 12-yard line as he goes left over the blocks of Bruce Armstrong and Max Lane.
Yeah, good catch, Verne, because Bruce Armstrong, the left tackle for the Patriots, just laid a terrific block to clear the way for Curtis Martin. 78, Bruce Armstrong. I mean, it's hard to imagine a guy 300 pounds that could be graceful. Bruce Armstrong is. Just kicks his guy out. Curtis Martin reads it, comes inside. And a very graceful player, Mark, yes. Yeah.
Martin with 131 yards for the night. 2nd down. Bledsoe hands it off to Martin again. This is 25th carry, and he stopped at the 10.
This is an area of the game where they miss Ben Coates desperately. He's very effective in the red area. Look for Keith Byers. If Ben Coates can't come back in this game, look for Keith Byers to take over his role from the fullback position, moving to the tight end catching position.
Took an awfully long time to get those rib pads on. I mean, that's been 3 plays they're trying to get those things on.
That's a big man right there.
Must have lost the laces there.
3rd and 5. 17-17 early 4th quarter.
And Bledsoe can't take a sack, but certainly not turn the ball over.
Hasn't been sacked tonight. Here comes the rush. He goes left. He's got Lovett Purnell, his first catch of the season, and it's the 9th man to catch a touchdown pass this year from Drew Bledsoe.
And he runs in the stands like Lambeau Field.
It's called the Foxborough Flop.
Or trot.
And if you think this play surprised him, it surprised the Jet defense, because they're expecting Keith Byers or Ben Coates. All of a sudden, who do you have? Lovett Purnell. First touchdown reception and first catch of the season.
2nd-year man from West Virginia, a 7th-round pick a year ago. Chosen by Bobby Greer and Bill Parcells, perhaps in consort. Patriots reclaim the lead with 12:53 to go in regulation. That catch from Lovett Purnell.
You know, they had great clear-out guys down the field, and number 85 just kind of sneaks underneath the coverage, and then he secures the ball with both hands at the 2-yard line as he breaks the tackles, so avoiding any kind of chance for a fumble.
Now the kickoff, Adam Vinatieri getting set. Aaron Glenn, Leon Johnson are the deep men. This will be Johnson at the 15-yard line. Short kick by Vinatieri. And good field position now for the New York Jets. And watch the reaction now on the touchdown by Lovett Purnell.
Yeah, you think the Green Bay Packers have had an effect on the entire league. And you're seeing more and more of this on Sundays. The affinity and affection between fans and players. Purnell looked a little hesitant for a moment there to go in the stands, but at the end he did.
At least he was smart enough to get rid of the football before he went over there, because that's a fine if the fans take the ball away from him.
Bledsoe hit 6 of his last 8, having missed 8 in a row and had 1 return for a touchdown. Now O'Donnell. Quick flip. Oh, boy, Jimmy Hitchcock. What a pop he laid on Jeff Graham.
And Jimmy Hitchcock, 7 tackles in the first half. You know, the Jets trying to pick on him, coming after him. And again, this is like a linebacker hit on Graham. And he has played very, very well. And a lot of good tackling a week ago by Jimmy Hitchcock.
Nice clean tackle, or clean hit. Hard but clean. 2nd down and 10. Back split. O'Donnell blitz coming. Deep left side man coverage. Goes to Hitchcock. And Hitchcock is there on Jeff Graham.
It's not working, Mark.
You're absolutely right. I'll tell you, one guy that stepped it up for the New England Patriot defense is Jimmy Hitchcock. They picked on him in the first half. They picked on him early in the 3rd quarter, but he is really stepping up right now, and it's against Jeff Graham. They're not going at him with Keyshawn Johnson, but he's running stride for stride, and that's excellent coverage by any quarterback.
And it sets up a 3rd and 10. Patriots lead by 7 with 12:34 remaining. O'Donnell has been sacked 5 times. 13 in the last 7 quarters. Almost gets 1 more. Oh, Verne has a man open, and it's caught by Crabett.
He is absolutely amazing. You know, Willie Clay, the free safety of the Patriots, said to us yesterday, who is it? That is Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis, their best pass rusher.
And their best defensive player.
Yeah, but just finishing the thought, what Willie Clay said about Wayne Crabett, you know, he gets out on the field, and you see him break the huddle, and you say, how can this guy beat me? But he does it time and time and time again.
Crabett for 38 yards this time. That's the good news for the Jets, and the obvious area of concern is Willie McGinnis, who missed the last 2 preseason games and the first 2 regular season games, and he is getting medical attention now at the 28. Let's go back and take a look at the injury.
When you're up by 7 points and you need your best pass rusher. It was his own teammate. Yeah, it was his own teammate, Henry Thomas. Kind of a leg whip. Unintentional. Teddy Bruschi on the charge.
Well, McGinnis heads to the bench, and it's a 1st down after the 38-yard pass completion. Crabett and Graham go left, and Keyshawn Johnson is not on the field. Richie Anderson in motion to the left. Adrian Morel hit and driven down at the 25. No gain. Lawyer Malloy, number 36. Bill Parcells said yesterday, Malloy someday going to be in the Pro Bowl.
Pete Carroll was saying about Lawyer Malloy as well, saying this guy is one of those emerging players in the National Football League. Strong safety. He's played well last year in his rookie year, but has really come on. Very good at the tackler. Very good close to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Anderson and Morel in the backfield. O'Donnell back. O'Donnell down. O'Donnell fumbles. And who got it? Patriots.
Well, if the meek inherit the earth, these Jet offensive linemen will soon be land barons. 2nd week in a row, they have gotten after Neil O'Donnell.
The thing about it is, Neil O'Donnell still has confidence in him. He sits there, sees the blitz coming. Instead of stepping up and running or giving the ball thrown away, he hangs in the pocket because he still believes in these offensive linemen.
Neil O'Donnell fumbles for the 2nd consecutive series, but if you look at the replay, it's understandable why.
Is Ted Johnson, who's going to come right around the corner.
That's really well done. Nice drawing.
That's a really bad circle. I apologize. But again, he kind of slips around the rush, gets his right hand on the ball. O'Donnell fumbles it, and there's about 4 blue jerseys around to make the recovery.
10 tackles in the Super Bowl loss. And a wonderful season a year ago. Ted Johnson, now 2nd down and 2. 10:33 to go. New England leads by 7. Martin short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 3. And Neil O'Donnell, who was hit 18 times and sacked 8 last week, has been hit a lot tonight.
Yeah, the hurries and the sacks and the fumbles, they all add up.
Those are the killers of the fumbles. You can take the hurries and the sacks, but when you turn the ball over, that's what really hurts this football team.
And this is a very big 3rd down for the Jet defense.
3rd and 2. Ben Coates, you'll notice, is back in, wearing the rib cage. Four-man front defensively. Bledsoe into the flat, caught by Martin. Marvin Jones makes the tackle up on top, down low to Smith, but it's a 1st down at the 45.
Boy, Mark, you know, he can just beat you so many ways. I'm talking about Curtis Martin. I mean, in the 4th quarter, he's run the ball with a lot of power and a lot of speed and moves. And then when they really need to move the chains, he catches the ball out of the backfield.
Pat, what I don't understand is why isn't anybody covering him? He's wide open right out of the backfield. That's the 2nd play in the row that no one's covered him out of the backfield, and he's caught the ball both times.
Looks like Marvin Jones slipped, who was trying to cover him.
1st and 10. Martin goes left and crosses the 50 to the New York Jet 49-yard line. The Patriots will try and obviously get into the end zone, but they wouldn't mind working on the clock a little here as well.
27 carries now for 138 yards, and you know, anytime you run for positive yardage going to your left side, it generally means Bruce Armstrong and Max Lane are doing a pretty good job on that left side.
I'll tell you what, he's getting close to his career highs in rushing, but last week he ran it 11 consecutive times, as you stated before, for 74 yards. They're trying to milk the clock and force it right down their throats again this week.
Down to 8.5 left in regulation in a 7-point game. That's Coates, and this is Martin. And he gets to the 45. That's a yard short of the 1st down. The tackle made by Jerome Henderson.
You know, but the really good teams in the National Football League, the teams that have a legitimate shot at a championship, run the ball or are able to run the ball in these kinds of situations. And Pete Carroll's team right now, protecting that 7-point lead, are running the ball.
Carroll at 45 from Larkspur, California, was the 4-year defensive coordinator with the Jets. Then the 1-year head coach, was fired last 2 years with the 49ers. Said he never doubted he would get another shot in the National Football League. Here's Bledsoe with a lot of time, but good coverage, and he throws it away. Interesting. Yes, there's the flag.
You know, it actually doesn't hurt them if they're going to punt the ball anyway. I'm a little bit surprised with the call on 3rd and 1, though. But they've been running the ball so doggone well with Curtis Martin and trying to run this clock out, but they're going to give the Jets another chance.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 11, 10-yard penalty. Lost it down. 4th down.
Well, kind of an unusual 2nd half for him. He's played well throwing the ball, but he's had a unsportsmanlike penalty called on him, and then a grounding play there. But that penalty shouldn't really hurt them with the punting situation here.
8 penalties last week against the Patriots. That is the 7th tonight. And that brings on Tom Tupa, who had his first punt of the evening blocked. And Leon Johnson back to return it. Tom Tupa, who once started 11 games at quarterback for the then Phoenix Cardinals back in 1991.
So Leon Johnson become the featured guy. This is one where Tom Tupa should force the fair catch.
Rush comes. Fair catch called by Leon Johnson. He grabs it at the 19-yard line. So the Jets get it back, but they need to solve the problems of the Patriot rush. O'Donnell has fumbled his last 2 times. Sunday night here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Rain at 5 o'clock. All of the weather forecasters in the local channels predicted sunny and nice tonight.
It was beautiful this morning.
Yeah, it was. That doesn't count. That's over.
Well, the moral of that story is next time we do a game in New England, we don't watch the local telecast.
They're accurate as backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, but they're land barons. 1st down and 10. Well, if you're going to be offside, come all the way across.
Yep.
Willie McGinnis back in the lineup.
And then you always point.
Yep.
I mean, you always get your teammates to point as well.
David Williams, number 73, saying no, no, no. Now we'll see. Did he?
Defense.
Nope.
Offside, number 55, unabated to the quarterback. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You hate to be unabated on a murky night.
Yeah.
It's always the job of the defense when you jump off sides. You lie and I'll stick to it, and everybody points to the same guy. But smart play on the offense, holding the water in there when someone jumps off sides, not making a move.
Down by 7, the Jets have to do two things. Get Adrian Murrell going again, and then protect Neil O'Donnell, which they have not done a good job of doing that tonight.
Patriots haven't given one up yet. Not a point in the fourth quarter. Crabette in motion. Hand off Murrell, comes left. Boy, they got a good block. Elliott did on McGinnis. Jumbo Elliott kept Willie McGinnis out of the play. But the Jets must solve their fumble problems. Richie Anderson at the end of the first half as they were going in for a go-ahead score. And then O'Donnell twice. Here's Anderson. That was with less than 30 seconds to go in the half. O'Donnell hit by Chris Slade. And then O'Donnell hit by Ted Johnson. I like this analytical stuff, fellas.
That's good. Yeah, you've used the telestrator soon.
I like the music in the background.
First and 10. 7-point lead, New England, behind Jeff Graham.
You know, it's interesting. The Jets, as you saw, those 3 fumbles, but still very much in this ball game. Much like Arizona last Saturday night or Sunday night when we had them, had 4 turnovers and ended up winning the game in overtime. And say what you will about Bill Parcells, and he has his detractors, some of them in this stadium tonight. His teams play well in the fourth quarter, and they have always, or they generally have a chance to win late in the ball game.
Even though they gave up the 8 sacks against Buffalo last week, they were in it right to the end of the ball game. They had a few chances to win the game, and this game's a long, long way from being over.
Well, at least 7:04.
A little equipment repair in the huddle here.
Yeah.
Lonnie Pelele, number 66. Jumbo Elliott, Duffy, O'Dwyer, and Williams trying to hold it together now. Second down and 10. They've given up 6 sacks already in the game. Screen pass, left side. But Murrell makes a nice grab. But because he had to go back and get it, here came Todd Collins.
And not only that, I alluded to this earlier in the program that if a quarterback is going to roll the same way he's throwing the screen pass, the defense will follow him, and it will not be a positive play. Here's Neil O'Donnell. Stay in the pocket and fake the defense towards you. Bring him to you, and then throw the ball to the outside. Don't roll that way.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 12.
I think that's basic quarterback 101 and winning a screen pass.
Steve Israel, off-season acquisition from the 49ers, in at right cornerback now against Graham. He's been bothered by tendinitis. O'Donnell comes this way. Flag is down. This one will come back. There is Israel coming up to close with Jimmy Hitchcock, but well, they may take the play because it's not going to be enough for the first down, or they may elect to take the 10 yards. And
well, Parcells would go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Good point.
don't take the penalty. Yeah, my first of the year, right?
Well, see, I flubbed my second analytical shot there.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Lonnie Pelele.
Or Pelele.
Yeah.
In some circles. 3rd down after the holding call.
In any event, if the Jets are going to have any chance of winning, not only tonight, but later this season, they're going to have to solve their protection problems because their quarterback is getting mugged. Got mugged a week ago.
4th penalty tonight for the Jets. 3rd and 22. 5:48 remaining in regulation. Back split, 4-man rush. O'Donnell. Leon Johnson across the middle, chased by Collins, but he's able to get only to the 36-yard line, and that will bring up 4th down.
Bill Parcells talks about chasing winning. He wants guys that love to chase winning. This is a time where you're going to find out your guys that are going to stand up and your guys that are going to be winners and your guys that can't. And he's going to get a good barometer of players that will play for him in situations like this and not fold.
Here's the punt from Brian Hansen. Contact, but no flag as Hanson thought, well, I'll take a chance on this.
Gave it his best Laurence Olivier.
I guess it was really a Susan Lucci because he didn't get the penalty.
Or in some circles, Adam Sandler. 3-0 for the first time at the beginning of a season since 1974. Chuck Fairbanks, the coach then. Here's Bledsoe, left side. And that's delivered to Sean Jefferson in front of Aaron Glenn, number 31.
For Drew Bledsoe, again, for fantasy football fans, off to that great start, MVP of fantasy football. Game 1, 4. Game 2, 4. 2 more touchdowns tonight. Makes how many, Verne? 10.
Thank you. 9 different receivers. He was intercepted tonight for the first time. He is yet to be sacked this season. I beg your pardon. One sack. Yep. That's right. 2nd and 1. Draw play, Martin. That will buy them about a minute and a half on the clock.
And that sack factor really may be the difference between these two teams. I mean, the Jets lost a week ago because they gave up 8 sacks. They've given up 6 tonight, I believe, and only 1 this entire year on Drew Bledsoe. And that's the difference oftentimes in the National Football League in winning and losing.
14 sacks in the last 2 games after allowing none in the opener in Seattle. And do not forget Richie Anderson's fumble going in for the go-ahead score at the end of the first half. 1st and 10, Bledsoe, Martin. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, that protective flak jacket that Ben Coates was wearing to protect the bruised ribs is bothering him immensely. He did play that last series, but he came back afterwards, sat on the bench, took it off, tried to readjust it. He's in a lot of pain. He's not very comfortable with it. And right now he's sitting out this series, but he could go back in, particularly on a 3rd or 4th and short.
Jets use one of their 3 timeouts. Thank you, Craig. So they have 2 left, and they stop the clock with 3:32 remaining.
Yeah, that guy is a warrior, Mark. I'm talking about Ben Coates. I mean, Ben Coates is unique in the way he plays the game, and certainly his position.
Not only that, Pat, I think it's smart for him not to be in there. They're winning the game right now. They don't want to increase his injury. It's a point in time where, hey, let him sit there. Let's hang our hat on the offensive line. Let's move the pile, give the ball to Curtis, and eat the clock off.
Well, I'd love to have him in blocking, though, because as good a receiver as he is, he can be a dominating blocker, as we saw in the first half.
2nd and 7, 3:32 to go. Bledsoe drills it for Troy Brown, number 80. Caught his first touchdown catch last week, and Otis Smith, number 45, with the tackle. Well, next week we will be down in Tampa for the Miami Dolphins Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, and we have been advised that that game is sold out.
As it should be.
Yeah, you bet. Dolphins and Buccaneers at Houlihan Stadium. It begins with Vince, Keith, and Sean. Pro Football tonight at 7. We'll be along at 8 o'clock. Now Ben Coates is back in the lineup. Mike Giesler, who's gone the distance at center tonight. Terry Glenn again did not play. 3:28 to go. Bledsoe to Coates.
Oh, man, what a courageous play. And just as Craig Sager said a moment ago, when that 3rd down came up, Ben Coates sucked it up, came in the ball game, catches the ball over the middle, and gets drilled in those tender ribs. And you don't think Drew Bledsoe's looking for him the whole way? He's waiting, get open, Ben. And he wasn't open by much. But you don't have to be open by much when you have hands like Van Cliburn.
There wasn't any looking off in that pass play. He was going right to Ben Coates. There wasn't a shot of going to anyone else.
Coates opened this night with a 32-yard catch for a touchdown. That was at the end of the opening drive of the evening. Now Curtis Martin goes left and is down at the 45-yard line. Tackle is made by Ernie Logan.
Jets use their 2nd timeout.
Don't forget, at the conclusion of our game tonight, join Keith Jackson, Sean Jones, and Vince Cellini for the Mercedes-Benz postgame show. They'll have all the scores and highlights from around the NFL. That's on the Mercedes-Benz postgame show tonight with Vince, Keith, and Sean. There's a good chance that we'll be able to join the Bill Parcells press conference live. The sometimes acerbic 13th head coach of the New York Jets football team.
But it is amazing. Pete Carroll is winning this football game. His team is winning the football game. We're still talking about Parcells talking about his. He dominates the scene, does Bill Parcells. But this guy, as we talked about, has a very difficult job ahead of him, although with a talented team.
2nd down and 8. At the 45. Well, when you win Super Bowls with the Giants and you get to the Super Bowl with the Patriots and you leave in the fashion in which Bill Parcells took his leave of the Patriots, it causes a bit of a feeding frenzy among the fans and the media, and thus the attention focused on this game.
Well, there's one thing for certain, that the cholesterol level went down in this New England area in the past week because everybody was having the tuna grill.
Well, we've had enough tuna signs tonight to make you long for a Spam sandwich.
I had that rack of Spam last night. Thanks for picking up that tab, Verne.
Now take a look at the press box here. They had credential requests, I guess, almost equal to the number of requests they had for the playoffs last year, the AFC Championship game against Jacksonville. Los Angeles Times, Dallas Morning News, various and sundry newspapers around the country. Pete Carroll.
What that meant.
What's that? Various and sundry?
Yeah.
I'm thinking. 3rd and 8. Bledsoe, deep left side.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Out of bounds. Nope. Bring the arms down. Bledsoe thought he had Jefferson, and Jefferson thought he had the catch.
You know, again, Neil O'Donnell is going to get one more chance. Oh, yeah. Just let him a little bit too far outside because he had him open. You know, it's maybe a yard too wide, otherwise he catches that, is able to keep both feet in bounds, and they can run out the clock.
I thought I read somewhere that 1 knee equals 2 feet. I see that?
No.
Huh?
You shouldn't have.
Leon Johnson back, fair catch. New York Jets are out of timeouts, but they have 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. And any of you who saw Monday night know something about comebacks.
Stay around.
Don't leave on this one. This is a chance for the offensive line to finally pick it up and shine for the New York Jets. The last few series, Neil O'Donnell's been pressured, harassed, hit, and sacked, but now it's time for them to stand up and keep his jersey clean through the next drive.
But please, no prevent defense.
1st down and 10. 24-17. 4-man rush. O'Donnell lets go of it, and Morrell makes the grab at the 22. They will try and get one more play run off before the 2-minute warning, or stop the clock. I don't think they're going to get it done. No. .120 seconds remaining in regulation play. And the Patriots, trying to go 3-0 on the season, lead by 7. Anticipation for this game began last April when the NFL schedule was announced. The anticipation particularly high in the New England and New York area. So it has been Can the Tuna and Grill the Tuna Week. Bill Parcells, so nicknamed when he coached here back in the 80s. And thankful for all of us that this game lived up to the billing. 24-17, 2nd and 5. Right side, Jeff Graham incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Anybody notice the absence of Keyshawn Johnson in the scheme of things?
Oh, for sure. In the first half, he had 4 receptions for 27 yards. He hasn't caught a ball in the second half. He's the best athlete at the wide receiver position on the football field tonight, and they haven't thrown to him in the last few series.
But I don't think Neil O'Donnell has confidence in him. He's bobbled at least 3 passes tonight.
3rd and 5. Four-man rush by the Patriots across the middle for Keyshawn Johnson. Incomplete. Tipped away and almost picked off by Ted Johnson.
Well, Pat, you were right. They called his number, and he didn't pick up the phone.
Well, he's in the slot right here. It's Keyshawn Johnson. And again, I think you distinguish yourself at certain parts of the game. As a quarterback, as a wide receiver, and as an offensive line. And this is it right now for the Jets.
4th and 5. Four-man rush again. Quick flip, Keyshawn Johnson breaks the tackle and moves it out to the 38-yard line. They are out of timeouts.
Now that time he answered the phone.
Yeah.
They need to rely on him. They need to get the ball in his hand. He has big play capabilities. Let him do it.
Gain of 16. Clock running with 93 seconds to go. O'Donnell right side. Well, they go for the intercept, and Graham makes the grab. Now, did he get both feet in bounds? Yes. Ty Law went for 6.
That was a great job of concentration by Jeff Graham of holding on to that football and getting out of bounds, because it was right at the end where Ty Law comes right across his face. Look at the concentration on his face. Great camera work by our cameraman, and he just hugs that ball in right on the sideline.
Yeah, those are some great pictures.
2nd and 1. 1:29 to go. Seven-point game. Again, a four-man rush. Left side, Corbett will get out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Stops the clock with 1:23 to go.
He's got the metabolism of a hummingbird. You see the way he kind of flapped his wings and was looking for people and scurrying around, but did the right thing, got out of bounds.
Corbett's 4th catch of the night. 1st and 10 at the 43.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll's telling his defensive backs to crowd those receivers. Don't give them too much room.
O'Donnell has put it up 41 times tonight. This will be his 42nd. Now they blitz. Got him. Jimmy Hitchcock. There's a flag on the near side of the field in the area of Keyshawn Johnson and Steve Israel.
Jimmy Hitchcock once again comes through.
I wonder if this could be defensive holding or an illegal chuck.
Of course it could be.
Holding. Defense. Number 21.
It's a first.
5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Steve Israel and Keyshawn Johnson. Well, that's a tackle. Yeah, that's the second tackle. Good call.
I wonder if he gave him his wallet back.
Israel, who played for Pete Carroll last year with the 49ers. And after the sack is negated, 5 yards on the call. It's 1st and 10 with 1:20 to go. Again, the blitz. O'Donnell right side. Graham leans out. This time he can't hang on to it.
You know, it's 2 times they've thrown that out route, Mark, and he has been open. And Neil O'Donnell knows it. Twice he's had him. You know, actually, 1 time he caught it, but the 2 other times he didn't catch that big old cushion on the right side, which allows Jeff Graham to just run a little 12-yard square out. I think he led with his face mask on that one. I think it hit his face mask first.
2nd and 10 at the 38. Slade came offside. O'Donnell has a free shot and misses Graham again.
Well, at least they're persistent, but Slade was early on that rush.
Defense, offside, number 53. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
There we go. Slade coming from the right side. Well, penalties a problem, although Pete Carroll told us yesterday they weren't that significant last week. 7 were called in one quarter. That is the 10th New England penalty tonight. 2nd and 5. From the 33, corners come up to bump and run. O'Donnell, right side in the flat for Corbett. He's down at the 35, loses 3, and the clock still runs.
And then we got an injured Patriot on the field.
Back at the 45.
Yeah. And Pete Carroll can't believe this because it stops the clock.
McGinnis again.
And you can't be too upset with Willie McGinnis with the effort he's given, though. There'll be a charge timeout to New England.
That leaves them with 1.
It was nice to see New England finally change the coverage mark and bring the corners up, though, because they took away that out route that Neil O'Donnell was trying to feature in this drive.
And when the corners do that, I think Neil has a tendency to go to Wayne Crabett because he'll always get open if he's pressed on either side. And this is a third down situation. Wayne Crabett last year led all receivers in the NFL on third down receptions with 31 of them.
And all he does is get open, catch the ball.
Steve Sidwell, defensive coordinator with the Patriots, reconfirming for us that McGinnis is his best defensive player. They've not had him for the last couple of weeks because of the hamstring problem. Gave it a go tonight, second time he's been injured. And Pete Carroll seems placid enough on the sideline.
Willie McGinnis, number 55. I think it may be his left leg that gets injured. Does the old swim move. Again, certainly he didn't get tangled up with the offensive tackle. Here's number 55, left part of the screen.
Well, still receiving medical aid out at the 45-yard line. Willie McGinnis, first-round pick in 1994 out of Southern Cal.
Well, I tell you, not only does it stop the clock, I tell you really need him right now on this third down to rush the passer. He is their best pass rusher, and it is his right leg. Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator, called him a rare player.
Barry Collins will be one of those who helps him off. Bruce Armstrong, his longtime teammate. We'll take one more look at the injury to Willie McGinnis.
Top of the screen, Willie McGinnis, and right there you saw his left leg twist a little bit, possibly tearing that hamstring.
Third down, back to live action. Blitz, stunt, O'Donnell across the middle, knocked down by Chris Slade again.
Chris Slade, one of those who felt slighted by Bill Parcells a year ago. And among all the hype, he was one of the few who said, I really want to play well this week. And he has.
4th and 7. Four-man rush. O'Donnell lets it go to Leon Johnson. He's got a first down at the 22. Now the clock at 45. Parcells said, spike it. Leon Johnson, the rookie, out of the backfield. And the clock is stopped with 37 seconds left.
Earlier we were talking about Leon Johnson. We were saying at some point in the year he is going to win a football game for the Jets. Well, he's going to give an opportunity to win this game in only his 3rd game as a pro. This guy was called the natural in high school because he did everything. He ran, he caught, he played baseball, he punted. And he made a magnificent play right there.
O'Donnell out of the shotgun will throw it for the 47th time on this play. Goes deep left side. Keyshawn Johnson got it! He got it! He got it! And Parcells has already decided, I think, to go for one. Yes.
Absolutely. But Mark, you hit it right on the head early in this drive. You say you give your best players the opportunity. And O'Donnell does a good job of looking off, waits patiently, got the time that time, and gets the ball to Keyshawn Johnson in the corner for the touch.
Here's the rookie John Hall for the tie. And they did it with no timeouts.
One thing I can tell you about the games we've had on TNT, every one of them has been exciting. Last week, overtime, the Dallas Cowboys against the Arizona Cardinals. And tonight, looks like we may go to another overtime game again unless there's a miraculous play by the New England Patriots.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, emotions on both sides tell a lot, don't they? Again, Keyshawn's down here, number 19 in the bottom, and that's 21, Steve Israel, right in the middle of your screen. Israel falls down, and a good throw by O'Donnell, throwing it deep enough into the end zone to allow the taller Keyshawn Johnson to create some separation at the end of the pattern. Israel had him early on. I tell you, Bill Parcells' team, you know, whatever, they always seem to play it tough in the fourth quarter. Not too many smiles on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays out of Parcells, but sometimes on Sundays you get them.
Just throw me the darn ball.
There you go.
The author. Unused since the first quarter because of the drops. And they went to him a couple of times, and look at the wink at the end of the slap from Bill Parcells.
I guess he'll come up with a nickname for Keyshawn now.
Yeah.
Only his favorite players get the nicknames.
Without timeouts, O'Donnell. And what a big play by Leon Johnson to sustain the drive. Here's Derek Cullers.
Fumble. Unbelievable. Brooks ball. Incredible.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Well, they haven't the referees haven't signaled it yet.
New York ball.
New York ball.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
You know, if you play hard for the full 60 minutes or 59 and a half, a lot of times good things happen. Both teams have played well. He actually had both hands on the ball, and it still popped loose. It wasn't a loose carry by any stretch, Mark. It was secured.
That's Chad Cascadden, number 53. And this is John Hall. 55 and 52-yard field goals already this year. He's hit 1 of 1 tonight. He's a free agent rookie out of Port Charlotte, Florida, who played collegiately for Wisconsin.
And for Neil O'Donnell, he tells his running backs, if I give it to you, you hold on to it with both hands.
Second turnover tonight. O'Donnell, left side. They don't have any timeouts left.
Yeah, they could have still down the ball. The 21 seconds. Still
Yeah, but
down
that's
the ball.
living dangerously.
Well, that's what he has done tonight. He said we would not play conservatively, and they have not.
He's definitely been a riverboat gambler tonight.
Yeah, you know what? Now's the time to kick it, though. Don't mess around with a bad exchange. Don't mess around with a fumble. Kick it.
John Hall, here he comes. John Hudson, the 8-year veteran, will be the center. Brian Hansen, the 13-year vet out of Sioux Falls, will be the holder.
And watch how he lines this thing up with his arm.
25 yards to take the lead.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I think an inconsequential penalty at this point.
Make it a 30-yard field goal. Hudson will center. Hansen will hold.
This kid's he's not afraid. Look at that chin strap. Anybody that wears a chin strap like that, he's confident.
Game. What a finish.
Anything and everything that could possibly happen in this game has happened tonight.
Yeah, Bruce, you're going to go back out with one more chance.
It was Chris Canty, number 26.
who started the game with a big return for the Patriots, and at the end comes up with the play. Canty, and then Mike Jones. It was actually Mike Jones on the inside, number 96, who got his big right hand up there to make the play. Well, special teams for both squads have played well, but none bigger than Mike Jones's block right there. Boy.
We'll go to overtime.
Yeah, let's do that.
'96, Mike Jones got it in the middle.
They've earned some really clutch play.
Immediately at midfield.
Neil O'Donnell, Keyshawn Johnson, and Mike Jones there at the end.
Larry Nemmers brings them out to the 50-yard line. 2 timeouts per team for the second Sunday night in succession. We're going to OT.
Well, one other overtime game today, and it was a good one. Washington over Arizona.
Yeah, I think the best run of the day was Norv Turner's when he was running after Michael Westbrook.
In the overtime, the game is played just like the fourth quarter. All the timing and everything else. Each team gets 2 timeouts. The Jets are the visiting team. Who's going to call the coin? Call the coin in the air, please. Heads. Heads is called. It's tails. New England has won the toss. They would like to receive. Which goal you want to defend? Turn around, gentlemen.
OT in Foxborough.
Good luck.
Jets and the Patriots tied at 24. And 4 blocked field goals this season. Now Derek Cullors getting ready for the return. But the ebb and flow of the emotions in this game.
Boy.
And John Hall trying to shake the impact of that blocked field goal. Will kick off now. Make it. Touchback.
And John Hall is the weapon.
Willie McGinnis will not see action tonight. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, earlier we saw Willie McGinnis where he was kicked in the knee. The diagnosis at that point was a bruised knee, but then later he sprained his knee. They said he possibly could return, but if you saw that shot right there with the towel on his head and the wrapping around his knee, I don't think there's any way whatsoever. Verne.
All right, Craig, thank you. 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Bledsoe goes with a 3-wide receiver set. Comes to the right side. Battle for it. Who got it?
Unbelievable.
Troy Brown took it away.
That is as good an effort as you're going to see. That ball was intercepted for a while.
Otis Smith appeared to have it.
I think he did. I think it's an interception and a takeaway. Those are just strong hands by Troy Brown. We have seen a little bit of everything.
2nd and 16.
Yeah, one thing, when Bledsoe got it going there,
was never completed until at the 14-yard line. 2nd down.
Okay, that's a good call. I think he's right on that. But I tell you, when Bledsoe had it going a while in the 4th quarter, he got the ball to Sean Jefferson. They had something going there for a while.
Bledsoe 15 of 32. Will keep it on the ground. Morton out near the 19-yard line.
You know, we say Willie McGinnis is not in, but also Ben Coates is still not in on offense. One of the most dangerous weapons they have. But indeed, he trots on cue.
Well, what's been important in this situation and at the end of this game is how the Jets defense has stood up and basically shut down the Patriots offense with a lot of no names up front. These guys aren't household names.
Yeah, they've got a good push.
3rd and 10. That could be called on Bledsoe with a head bob.
Full start on 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
11th penalty. I mean, you'd be surprised how many quarterbacks in the league forget the snap count. And he may have done it there.
You ever did that?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Really?
But you always ask the center. And if he's nice, he gives you the snap count.
3rd and 15. 3-man rush. Bledsoe deep. Ole Smith picks it up at the 45-50-yard line.
I think Drew Bledsoe thought the Jets were offside and had a free play. But there was no penalty. He thought there was a penalty, and I believe he thought it was going to be a free play, threw it downfield, hoping, hey, if it gets intercepted, no big deal. But indeed, there was not a penalty.
But I'll tell you what, Pat, it goes back to discipline. If he thought that was a mistake on his part, to never think that unless you know for sure you never throw a ball for grabs like that.
2nd interception tonight.
You see, that's what he sees and feels and senses. It has the assumption that there was a penalty.
And after the pick, first down, Jets at their own 49. Blitz. O'Donnell across the middle.
There's a grounding flag there.
Well, now
we get help from the umpire.
The umpire, Jeff Rice, confers with Larry Nemmers. 2nd down.
Well, I didn't see anybody downfield or anywhere near that ball, and it was in between the tackles.
The closest person to that ball was wearing a blue jersey.
Or the umpire.
Rookie John Hall had one blocked with 20 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. 3-man rush this time. O'Donnell scrambles, runs out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Third and 9.
We had a full start on 81 of the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's on Jeff Graham.
Yeah, late in this ball game, you know, Adrian Murrell has been kind of a forgotten man.
Are you suggesting that they remember him?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you don't forget a guy like that. He's over on the sideline.
Stays on the bench. Leon Johnson in now. 3-man rush again. Slade. Got him. This has been a night of vindication for Chris Slade.
And that was an outstanding move by Chris Slade. He used his quickness against a left tackle, Jumbo Elliott. He slipped on the play, but still, this is unacceptable by a left tackle in a situation like this. You get off the ball, you get your hands on the defender. Slade just goes inside with a nice little swim move right across Jumbo's face. For the 7th sack tonight on Neil O'Donnell.
And that one accomplished in the prevent defense with a 3-man rush. 3rd and 23. They're back to the 46, but it'll be 4th down, and they're still 13 short. Teddy Bruschi makes this tackle. And Dave Meggett drifts back, waiting for the anticipated punt from Brian Hansen.
One of the guys you would not be wanting to punt the ball to in this situation, Dave Meggett.
Hansen. Meggett at the 7. Oh, that was close. Leon Johnson with a pile driver tackle.
Well, Parcells elected to kick to Desmond Howard in the Super Bowl.
And he likes to kick to Dave Maggott there. For a moment, it looked like he was going to pop through.
Just a nice run by Dave Maggott. Right there, plants and turns upfield. And just goes north and south right now. Take the ball straight ahead and get what you can get. And he almost breaks it. Gets touched right there on his ankle, but stays on his feet for some extra yardage.
1st and 10 at the 21. Draw play, Martin.
That's a nifty little run there.
After the game, Keith Jackson, Sean Jones, and Vince Cellini will be along for the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Scores and highlights from all around the NFL today on the Mercedes-Benz post-game show.
If this thing ends.
11:33 to go.
Well, in overtime.
In overtime.
33 in overtime. Yep.
Almost forgot. Bledsoe across the middle. Lovett Purnell, who had a touchdown earlier tonight.
You know,
gain of 15.
Excuse me, Verne. Your role players at some point in the season have to step up and play well in the course of a 16-game season. Lovett Purnell has stepped up tonight. Ben Coates out with sore ribs. He catches a touchdown. He's number 85 right in the middle of your screen. There's a great Ben Coates impersonation, and that's a good adjustment on that catch.
After the 15-yard gain, ball at the 44. Martin, cutback. For the 40.
What a player this guy is. And Verne, a 15-yard gain. But the thing about Curtis Martin, who now has 180 yards, and you mentioned it earlier, the man does not fumble the ball. And in critical situations like this, boy, that is a tremendous, tremendous asset.
Career day now for Curtis Martin, 180 yards on the ground. And
35 yards, or 35 carries, a 15-yard gain on that one. And they'll give it to him again. 5 more to the 35.
Well, they're in field goal range right now. It would be a long one. But again, if you're Drew Bledsoe, you realize you can't have the penalties, you can't have a sack. You certainly can't have an interception, but you can't have a sack here either. But I'd keep feeding Curtis Martin the ball until they stop him.
From the 35, Adam Vinatieri has hit his last 12 field goals in succession. Martin to the 32-yard line.
They're relying on the offensive line to make a hole in a crease for Curtis Martin. In a situation like this, keep giving him the ball. As Pat said, push those chains straight ahead to give Vinatieri a little extra yardage to make his field goal attempt. But right now, the way they're pushing the defensive line of the New York Jets around, why stop? Why throw it? Just give it to Martin.
3rd and 1. Motion this time. Or you can give it to Keith Byers.
For the 3rd time on 3rd and 1. I see a penalty flag?
Yes.
Indeed I did. 3 times on 3rd and 1 they've given to Keith Byers, and it is against the Jets. And 3 times Keith Byers and the offensive line have responded.
Defense was offside, lined up in the neutral zone, number 31. 5-yard penalty. The penalty results in a 1st down.
Penalty is called on Aaron Glenn.
He's talking to Dante Scarnecchia, his special teams coach, very cognizant of the fact that we've already had 1 field goal attempt blocked.
Adam Vinatieri hoping for a chance to try his own game winner. Purnell comes tight to the right. Blitz. Handoff. Comes right to the 20-yard line. Sometimes this is a very small circle of people who play this game. Adam Vinatieri played collegiately at South Dakota State. He was a good friend of Brian Hansen, who is the Jets punter. He couldn't get a break. He asked Hansen to help him. Hansen recommended a kicking coach named Doug Blevins, who is now the kicking coach of the Miami Dolphins. Vinatieri called Blevins. He said, "Can you help me?" Blevins said yes. Adam Vinatieri moved to Abington, Virginia, worked with Doug Blevins for 2 months, went to the World League, and then got a shot last year. Irony of ironies from Bill Parcells. Here's Martin. And he goes down to the 16-yard line.
And it's time to bring Vinatieri in. As good as Curtis Martin is protecting the football.
No move yet.
Yeah, I think Pete Carroll's going to give it one more rush with his running back, and we're in a 3rd and 1 again, so it looks like who else is going to get the ball?
Keith Byers.
There you go.
Well, we've had 1 sneak for a first down, too. 3 Keith Byers and 1 Drew Bledsoe. Equals 4 first downs.
3rd and 1. This time Martin the deep back. And he will get the handoff.
I'm not so sure he got the first.
Clock is stopped. Adam Vinatieri, whose family came from northern Italy back in the 1800s. He had a great uncle Felix.
I knew you'd get this.
You knew I'd get this one in, right? It's great.
That was a very lucky man.
He was the bandmaster for George Armstrong Custer. But the day of the battle, he had laryngitis. Missed the fight.
Lucky for him.
And here's the stretch. 4th down. So with 7:12 remaining in overtime, it will be the Patriots' turn. Mike Bartram will snap it. Tom Tupa will hold it. And Adam Vinatieri from South Dakota State goes for the game winner from 34 yards out. In Foxborough Stadium. Patriots win it. Let's go down to Craig Sager.
Well, here we are, Verne. 2nd week in a row, a clutch kick. We were talking about the fact that you made 12 in a row. This was number 13. Tell us what was going on over the sidelines, the overtime.
I just wanted the guys to get me close enough into range, and from there, you just go out there and do what you've been trained to do. You hit 1,000 of them in a year, so you just kind of go out there and just try to do the best you can, and fortunately, it went through for me.
Bill Parcells cut his favorite kicker, Matt Barr, to give you a chance. How does it feel now to pay him back and defeat him in overtime?
Well, I tell you, I appreciate the fact that he gave me a shot last year, and hey, I just say I'm a Patriot to the core and core, so it don't matter who we're playing. I just try to do my best I can.
Well, congratulations, good kid.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back upstairs to Verne.
All right, Craig, Adam Vinatieri. Bledsoe leads them down. The running effort of Curtis Martin, 199 yards on 40 carries, career high. And Mike Jones, who blocked the field goal with 20 seconds left in regulation, celebrates on the sideline. One more look at Adam Vinatieri's game winner from 34 yards out. And the New England Patriots are 3-0 for the first time in 23 years. And let's go back with Craig Sager.
Well, thanks, Verne. Obviously, Curtis, the winning kick by Adam Vinatieri, but the ball went to you. You ran it, had control, 199 total yards. Did you get tired at all?
Yeah, I got tired, but I like to get tired because when I get tired, I feel that I'm at my best. I feel that I'm more focused when I'm tired. Thanks, baby. Way to hit, man. You know, I'm just grateful. I kept praying while I was out there because I was getting so tired. I was just praying, Lord, give me strength so I can do this. And I'm so glad that we was able to come through.
All the hype this week about facing Bill Parcells, your former coach. Did it get to you guys?
No, because the way we feel is Parcells wasn't out here playing on the field. You know, we don't have to play against him. We have to play against the men who line up out here. And they played a great game. I give them a lot of credit. They played tough. One of the toughest games I ever played in. And I want to wish them the best with the rest of their season.
Well, your prayers were answered. Your prayers were answered. Congratulations.
Well, thank God.
Let's go back upstairs to Verne.
There's a class young man, Curtis Martin. 40 carries, no bobbles tonight. A career-high 199 yards. And the Patriots win it 27-24, undefeated in the AFC East. Back after this.